yards.
That's the second time that's happened today.
California BYU for most of you coming up next as soon as this game is complete. We've got 106 to play in this one with Arizona leading Southern California 31-17. Stevenson's 83 running across your picture there. He's a burner. Back goes Van Raaphorst. Throws it to the sidelines. Ball is caught by Wendell Hayes, and Hayes is thrown out of bounds at the Wildcat 45. And now we're inside 1 minute, 59 seconds, and time's out. Let's see. Southern California has 2 left. Updating your standings in the conference, assuming that this one remains as is. Arizona goes to 2-1. Washington is playing now. Stanford, of course, jumped out in the early going to a 3-0 lead in the conference because of those early games. But the Cardinal will be looking at reality here in a little while. They either got a great team or they're going to have some bumps in the road. And that ball could have been intercepted and probably should have been by David Loudermilk, but the Trojan came down, Hayes, and knocked the ball away from him. So it goes an incomplete forward pass. Now you've got 53 seconds.
Well, the Trojans have Notre Dame next week. They have to travel to South Bend.
Notre Dame beat up Arizona State today, and Arizona State next week goes to Washington to play the Huskies. That's a 4 o'clock game here in the Western time zone in the Pac-10 country. That's where we'll be next Saturday. High, long, deep throw downfield. It is into the end zone, and it is incomplete, intended for Kareem Kelly. Here's more scores and more information from John now in New York.
Well, kids, we just want to remind everyone that we still have some more West Coast action as well. BYU and Cal is coming up when you are down out there in the Pac-10. Of course, we'll be along at halftime with all the scores and highlights. It's coming up. Keith, back to you.
Forty-five-yard line. Van Raaphorst throws to the sidelines to Wendell Hayes, and it is complete. Oh, they wave it off. Came down out of bounds.
It might have been good in the NFL where they say he pushed him out, but
they're picking on Loudermilk, who's a new arrival at that position over there. They've thrown at him 3 times in a row now.
I think they just like to play in the shade.
It could be. I wouldn't blame them.
It's probably 20 degrees cooler on the left side of the field than it is down on the right.
Time remaining is 40 seconds. That's Kareem Kelly making the catch and then losing his footing and falling down at about the 21-yard line at 34 seconds to play. So Arizona easing up a little bit along the defensive front and giving Van Raaphorst some time, and he's burning them.
And I've been impressed today, Keith, with Arizona. Defensively, I've liked everything they've done. They've stopped the run. They've rushed the passer. They've got a turnover for a touchdown. And offensively, with Candidate and Northcutt and Smith and the offensive line, I've been very impressed all the way around with Arizona. More than double the yardage Arizona over the Trojans.
Long day for the Trojans, though. Boy. For Arizona, they've got Texas El Paso next week, then Oregon at UCLA, Washington at Oregon State, and then at Arizona State. So they've got a tough schedule. Van Raaphorst back. He lets it go into the end zone. He's got a man over there, and the ball is caught for a touchdown for the Trojans. Marcel Allman makes the catch. So when they took off the charge, the pressure up front gave him some time. He moves the ball into the end zone, and he scores at 28 seconds to play in the ball game. And let's see what they do here with the point. They'll go for one.
Well, you got to go for one and kick the onside kick, hope that you get it, and then throw a Hail Mary.
They made it. So it's 31-24 with 28 seconds to play in the ball game. That's Allman's first touchdown of the year. Incoming freshman from Anaheim.
He throws this ball back away from the defensive back, and Allman sees it and comes back for it. Van Rapport slides a little bit, moves around in the pocket, gives the receiver a chance, throws it away from the defensive man, and his receiver goes and gets it.
Ironically, the man he beat was Kelvin Hunter, who picked up the loose football over here and ran in for the last Arizona touchdown.
Yeah. Well, this has got to be an onside kick, and Arizona's got to have their good hands people up there. Some of these kickers have gotten really good at kicking this ball, where it's really a jump ball when it goes 10 yards. They just hit the top of the ball. It rolls about 20 yards and then jumps straight up in the air. And
both the Arizona quarterbacks are on the field. Ortez Jenkins and Keith Smith are both over here on this side. So they've got all the good hands people, all right. And that's kicked out of bounds.
So that's a smart move by the Arizona players, just to let it go. If they kick it too hard, just let it go.
All right, get it, son of cable.
And so it'll be out of bounds at about just over midfield. The ball never did jump up in the air, really. It was kicked very hard.
It was not a good kick.
No. But it was certainly unusual, and has been all day, to see both the quarterbacks. And it is in the book that this is the fewest rushing yards ever recorded by a Southern California team, including the sacks. We told you a while ago it's -29. Previous was -23 in the Sun Bowl. That's rushing against TCU.
Well, the tough thing for the Trojans is not only do they take a loss home, but they also got 2 additional offensive linemen hurt. They had 2 coming in, so now they're banged up 4 offensive linemen. They need to get back and get them healthy.
As Keith Smith took a knee, Trojans called timeout. They have none left now. Both teams have burned their times out. So they're going to let the clock roll out. Final score is Arizona 31, Southern California 24. ABC Sports is online at ESPN.com, part of Go Network. This has been a presentation of ABC Sports, continuing the tradition of excellence. For most of you, stay tuned. Cal, BYU, coming up.
Playing music takes practice, determination, and coaching.
It takes all kinds.
Until the celebration of the century.
Are you ready to keep the home fires burning?
That's Armstrong Volkswagen, 20,000 McLaughlin in Gladstone. Drivers wanted.
KETU is celebrating the year 2000 by focusing on kids. 2K Kids, the key to our future. Meet Calais Brooks. At a young age, Calais learned to appreciate rich culture and heritage. Her love for people in athletics has prepared her for her dream to become a sports broadcaster. Now a junior in college, she's a recipient of the KETU Thomas Dargan Scholarship for Minority Students. Calais Brooks, a KETU 2K kid who will help all of us make a difference in the new century.
Experience the power of weather on the hour.
Get the latest local forecast every hour on the hour, 24 hours a day on Channel 2.
When weather is your top priority,
Turn to 2 at the top of every hour.
Experience weather on the hour only on Channel 2.
School safety, a report card, Sunday at 6 on Town Hall. Of the BYU Cougars. The Bears took the kickoff, and on their first play from scrimmage, Joe Igber, the true freshman tailback, went 55 yards to set up this drive, which is now at the 5-yard line of BYU, and it's third down, goal to go. Quick drop pass is incomplete. Igber, the intended receiver.
Well,
Hashi Robertson made the play.
Basements and damaged flower beds. Well, Hashi Robinson does a great job here. He just simply stays right with him, does not hit him too early. The ball was there. Good defense.
Field goal team is in. Jerry Hershey will attempt the field goal. Will Holmoe. He has converted only one field goal. That was from 25 yards away. This one will be from 22 yards out, and for the early lead. Almost blocked, hits the upright, and touchdown. It is no good. A flag is down. Hold it. A flag is down.
You know, Charlie, I was going to say that 4 of their first 5 attempts hit the upright.
Justin Inu was putting the pressure on. Preliminary signal. The penalty goes against BYU.
I don't know if there's a special skill in being able to hit the upright, but I've never seen anything like that.
Foul, roughing the kicker, half the distance to the goal, automatic first down.
Huge penalty, automatic first down. The ball now just inside the 3-yard line. It's first down and goal to go. Now the officials are all in place and we're set to go. Igber with a lead blocker, infiltrated by the Cougars, does not get back to the line of scrimmage. Joe Igber, 5'8", 190-pound true freshman Tyson Smith, who has drawn the starting assignment over Tyler Nelson, a strong safety for the Cougars, makes the play.
Had a nice trap there. The problem is that in addition to having some problems blocking on the right side, Reed Deal has not done as well on the outside. They also don't have great blocking from their tight ends.
Second down, goal to go. Igber collides with the quarterback, Kyle Bowler, and they lose even more yardage. So Cal, in the shadows of the goalpost, stumbling their way back outside the 10-yard line. Now at the 11, third down, goal to go.
Looks like just a mix-up here. He had a problem last week on their opening drive as well. They got down 65 yards down to almost the exact same place, Charlie, down about the 12-yard line, and just fumbled the handoff exchange.
Again, it was Tyson Smith, the strong safety, who made the play for BYU. Third down, goal to go. 4 wide receivers. And action prior to the snap.
False start, offense, 5 yards, remains third down.
Well, these are the things that just kill your momentum.
Third down, goal to go now at the 16-yard line. Three wide receivers, now 4. From the shotgun, outside pressure, steps in, ball is loose. They're going to rule it an incomplete pass.
This has been the story the last couple games, and the linebackers are able to time the blitz on 3rd and long, and literally Josh Lowe gets to him just as he would need to throw the ball, gets a hand on him, and then almost throws an interception.
4th down and goal. 12 plays on the drive, and 5 of the 12 for no yards, 3 for negative yards. This is from the 23, an attempt of 33 yards. And we have flags and whistles.
Prior to the snap, false start. Offense, 5 yards, remains first down.
This will make it a 38-yard field goal attempt. And we're about 4.5 minutes into the ball game. The Cougars have not touched the football yet on offense.
The funny thing is also, Charlie, on special teams in general, 90% of the special teams for Cal has been pretty good. Their coverage teams have done well.
From the 28, an attempt of 38 yards. Jeremy Hershey. High snap, pulled down. It's to the right, and it stays to the right. It is no good from 38 yards away. So the opening drive is stymied. We have no score. Back in a moment.
Long ago, an inventor came up with the assembly line, allowing a few people to make a lot of something. It was the model for efficiency. At Chili's, we pride ourselves for our inefficiency, because we make each of the Big Mouth burgers by hand, grilled one at a time by a person. And when you taste for yourself how good they are, you'll appreciate all the time we've wasted. Chili's fresh grilled Big Mouth burgers, monuments of inefficiency.
One of the world's best skiers against Goodyear's ultimate winter tire, the Ultra Grip Ice Radial. Made with ice lock and innovative silica compound, you get improved traction on snow and ice. Goodyear Ultra Grip Ice Radials.
Goodyear. 5 things to consider about the Chevy Impala. It's new. It starts under $20,000. It's designed, engineered, and built to be carefree. It's at your Chevy dealer now. It's received the highest frontal crash rating possible. 5 stars from the federal government. The new Chevy Impala. As USA Today put it, it's a lot more car than you imagine, at a lower price than you expect. The new Chevy Impala.
Let's go for a drive.
Need brakes? Now during the Midas $40 lifetime brakes rebate, save $20 per axle or $40 for your whole car. Lifetime guaranteed $40 in savings right now. Go safely. Go Midas.
This is the one you waited for.
Are you telling me that the guy who stabbed me might still be out there?
The one that will answer all your questions. An all-new practice, ABC Sunday, 10/9 Central.
Welcome back to Cougar Stadium. Here's Chili's starting lineup. BYU's offensive line.
Jimmy Richards is the strength of that line. Margin Hooks, 85 yards a game, is their go-to receiver along with Ben Horton. Kevin Federick, what can you say? If he can stay as accurate and get a chance to throw, they're going to do well.
BYU set to go from their own 20-yard line, first down. First opportunity on offense. They open up in the shotgun. Federick told us he loves the shotgun and inside handoff to Luke Staley. And now the Chili continue with the Chili starting lineup after that gain of 11 yards, the California defensive line.
Jacob Wasdorp caused a fumble, returned it for a touchdown. Their only points last week. Siko Senika, unbelievable player, All-America candidate at linebacker. And Delta O'Neal, one of the best all-round players in the country.
First down for BYU. They pick up 11 yards and the first down on their first play. Good protection going deep. Pass is high but pulled in. Margin Hooks and a gain of 16 yards. So the first 2 plays are good for a total of 27 yards for the offense of the Cougars.
Well, you see here, there's a real rhythm with the shotgun, and he's taken heat. The last few weeks he's taken heat, but he just doesn't seem to bother him. He did hurt his knee last week, but even then he's come back.
Shotgun again with Federick, and Staley is back with him. Snap a little high, pulled in, and on target again. This time it's Jonathan Pittman, who is the receiver. 13 yards on that play, another first down. Now let's take a look at today's Dell Game Solutions.
Okay, for the BYU offense, they've got to get the ball to the Superman, Lucas Staley, one of the top scorers in the country, number 26, tremendous speed, and most importantly, don't give Cal a chance by making some big mistakes.
3 first downs in a row for BYU, no score. 8:57 and counting, time remaining. We're in the first quarter. First opportunity for BYU on offense. The give is to Sataki, Kalani Sataki, the number 2 fullback, and he is stopped by DeStefano of California. Dell Gain Solutions, let's take a look at Cal's defense.
Bottom line is, no matter how good Kevin Federick is, you've got to keep hitting him. That's what Virginia did, and they won the game. Last thing is, they've got to win the turnovers battle. If they can get 2 more turnovers away from BYU, they have a chance.
BYU 3 first downs in a row on their first 3 plays. Then they're held to 6. So it's 2nd and 4 for the first time. Federick, play action, fakes the reverse, steps in, has problems, and he's sacked. Coverage downfield was excellent by the Cal secondary, although Federick never had a chance to even look downfield. Jacob Wasdorf was there for California.
People talk about this BYU relentless passing machine, but part of the success they've had this year is they don't have to rely on their passing game. They've got great runners. The 2 freshmen, Fahu Tahi, number 33, and Luke Staley, are just about as good a pair of freshmen as you'll ever see.
4 wide receivers on 3rd down and 10. Out of the shotgun. 4-man rush. Has the pressure, goes deep. It is caught. Touchdown BYU. Jonathan Pittman, 41 yards. What a drive. His 3rd touchdown of the year. He took DeStefano and LaShawn Ward with him.
This is your classic post pattern, and look at the accuracy. Absolutely a perfectly thrown ball. Gets free, plants his feet. Just perfect. And that's the way he's been all year.
Boxman with the extra point attempt. He has missed 2 of 17 extra points, but he nails this one right down the middle. BYU had to wait to get their hands on the ball, but when they did, they scored in a hurry. An 80-yard drive, they're up 7-0.
I like to think of myself as an innovator who started a company, Dell Computer, around an idea that everybody should be doing business directly with one another, one-to-one, with no barriers. To me, that's the power of the internet. We'd like to show you how to empower your business in ways you've never imagined. I'm Michael Dell, and it's our reason for being.
Be direct. Dell. Dell servers use Intel Pentium 3 processors.
5 things to consider about the Chevy Impala. It's new. It starts under $20,000. It's designed, engineered, and built to be carefree. It's at your Chevy dealer now. It's received the highest frontal crash rating possible. 5 stars from the federal government. The new Chevy Impala. As USA Today put it, it's a lot more car than you imagine, at a lower price than you expect. The new Chevy Impala.
Let's go for a drive.
The oxygen mask will be released, and in case of a sudden craving for the new chicken club from Burger King, an emergency pouch in the seat back in front of you contains 1 sandwich.
Hey, that's my sandwich.
Give me that sandwich, lady! Just give me the sandwich!
Everybody's craving the new chicken club. After all, it's a masterpiece of all-white meat chicken, crispy bacon, lettuce, and tomato.
Woohoo!
Burger King. Have it your way.
ABC Sports presentation of college football is brought to you by the all-new Chevy Monte Carlo. The side you show the world is up to you. By Chili's, a proud sponsor of ABC College Football. Dell Computer, pioneering direct internet ideas for your business. Be direct, Dell. And the Waterboy, Touchstone home video scores with outrageous bonus footage. So California will have their second opportunity with Deltha O'Neal And LaShawn Ward, the deep backs on the kickoff return by Owen Potchman. BYU is up 7-0, and he sails this one deep. And now the Dell Game Solutions for Cal's offense.
Okay, well, for Kyle Bowler, it's just give him a chance to throw the ball, plant his feet and throw the ball. He's got one of the best arms you can see, and hopefully over time he's going to develop that confidence and get the running game going. They're averaging 2.5 yards a carry, 77 yards a game. Got to get it up to over 100 if they have a chance.
BYU's defense?
Now, the BYU defense, well, it's the converse. Put pressure on Bowler and stop that Cal running game, and the game's over.
Igber is the tailback. The same spot at the beginning of the game. He went 55 yards down the left side. Will have a false start. Kyle Bowler, the quarterback for the Golden Bears, 6'4", 200 pounds, true freshman. Thus far in the game, he is 0 for 5.
False start. Offense, 5 yards, remains first down.
Meanwhile, his counterpart, Kevin Frederick of BYU, is 3 of 3 for 68 yards and the touchdown in that last drive.
Doesn't show any effects from that knee injury last week either, Charlie.
First down, 15. Here's the draw. Igber squirts through. He's got about 5 yards, and that will be all. Now let's go to our New York studio and John Saunders. Hi, John.
Charlie, nice to have you aboard. Big SEC matchup here on the Burger King update. Georgia and Tennessee. T. Martin calls his own number and punches this one across to the end zone for the touchdown. 7-0 is Georgia. Looks to remain unbeaten. It's early. Charlie, back to you.
Thank you, John. That's going to be interesting to watch. Now, we'll be looking for those updates, John. Good to be a part of your team. Here's the fake, the roll, the throw, and incomplete. Ronnie Davenport, the intended receiver, but excellent coverage by Josh Lowe. Lowe now the right linebacker, or the weak linebacker in this start. As Rob Morris, the middle linebacker, is still out, so Jeff Holtree, who normally is the weak side linebacker, has moved to the middle. And Justin Inu, of course, stays on the strong side. And by the way, Jeff and Jessica Holtree, a big celebration today. What about 1:30 this morning? A brand new baby girl, Samantha, 7 pounds, 5 ounces. And we understand Jessica and Samantha are both doing well at the hospital. Isn't that great? Puts the whole world in perspective. Back to throw, over the middle, on target. This one is held on. Marcus Field. He's going to go out to close to the 25-yard line. We'll give him the 25. Jared Lee makes the tackle.
Along with our friend Mr. Holtree, and I bet you he's happy the game started late today.
So Nick Harris now will kick it away for California. Harris with a 46.8-yard average.
One of the best punters in the country, Charlie. He's had a lot of practice this year, too.
Jaron Dabney is the return man. Good kick. To the 35, 40. Pretty good return out to the 45-yard line. So BYU will have good field position. 48 yards on the kick and 18-yard counter punch.
Introducing the all-new Chevy Monte Carlo. Green. The side you show the world is up to you.
Where will you be when the millennium turns? Your dreams change. So have we. Now Dean Witter and Morgan Stanley have joined to provide a world of investment advice on a personal level. The world will change, but at Morgan Stanley Dean Witter, we will always measure success, one investor at a time.
Hey, boys, I'm lost. I'm looking for Franklin Street exit. I'm going around for an hour. Come on.
Want more power? Try Valvoline SymPower Complete Fuel System Treatment. Cleans your entire fuel system with advanced synthetic technology.
Tuesday, Stewart finds paradise.
Your gay Jim rejected my application.
Under personal goals, you put 2 chicks in a hot tub.
All new Spin City. See you Tuesday on ABC.
5 minutes and 58 seconds. That is the time remaining in the first quarter here at Cougar Stadium in Provo, Utah. Seating 65,000. BYU is up by a score of 7-0. This is their second opportunity on offense. From the shotgun. Straight pressure. Could not get it away. We have a flag. I just almost wonder if Wasdorp beat the snap, because it seemed to me like he let it in the backfield before the ball was snapped by the center.
It looks like he knew something we didn't. He's done that twice now.
Offside. Defense. 5 yards. Remains first down.
Oh, there he goes. Oh, yeah, he is out of the blocks and has a 2-meter lead on Carl Lewis.
I was going to say that he could have gotten about an 8-8 meters.
So move the ball forward to the 50-yard line. First down and 5. Pressure again. Slips away, throws, passes complete right up the middle. Luke Staley to the 20, to the 15-yard line. Talk about salvaging a play. Delta O'Neal with the tackle after a gain of 36.
Okay,
Wasdorp again with the pressure.
Here comes 94 yet again. But when you're a quarterback with confidence who's been there before, you find presence. And you also find number 26, who runs about a 10-600 meters, gained 1,200 yards in 4 state playoff games last year. The guy's only 19 years old.
Ooh. First down and 10. The give is to Fahutahi. And he has to battle his way just to get near the line of scrimmage. And Jacob Wasdorp was there again. Wasdorp is everywhere for that defensive line.
Well, looks like Wasdorp's taking advantage of John Skiba and Aaron McCubbins right now.
Sekou Senyika was also there at the 15-yard line. It's second down. Atua and Tahi are the running back. Frederick to throw. Holds 2 in the block. Ball comes out of his hand. And it is recovered by the quarterback. Senyiko knocked it out of his hand.
Wasdorp tried to light a fire last week. He said that some of the guys seemed to quit late in the 4th quarter. And he's playing with fire now, Charlie.
A loss of 12 yards on the play, back to the 27-yard line.
It's a nice combination, number 13, Sekou and Jacob working together.
Third down and 23. Five-man front, 4 are coming. Pressure again, has a block, turns back, sets, wants to throw. Plays a very dangerous game by cocking the arm with that many defenders all around him, because the ball can come loose again, just like it did a moment ago. Andre Carter finally got him, a loss of 10 on the play.
Well, they got him coming from both directions now. One of the things that normally Kevin can do is evade that rush and find time. But Keith Miller gets in his face just in time.
And Nick Lowry, you talked at the top of the telecast about the defensive front 7 of the Golden Bears of California. And that is truly their strength, that they have shown it, stopping this drive. Delta O'Neal to return Jesse Soward's punt. Goes for the corner. Let's see where they'll mark it out. They're going to mark it out at the 14-yard line. So that's a pretty good kick. The ball at the 14-yard line, 23 yards on the kick.
Introducing the all-new Chevy Monte Carlo. Green. The side you show the world is up to you.
Flight 910. DC-9 service for New York.
E-tailers like EddieBauer.com choose priority mail. Shouldn't you?
You'll notice that both BYU and California, during a timeout, their offense, if they're going to be on offense when they come back after a change of possession, all gather on the sideline, then they call the play and they come right out and run the play, and they don't go out to a huddle on the field. So if you're a defender, you've got to be ready as soon as you see those white shirts coming out if you're in the blue shirts. Joe Igber. And he's going to pick up, 3 or 4 yards on the play. Sunday night on ESPN is the Battle of the Bays. Brett Favre and the Packers take on the Buccaneers. Then Monday on ABC, Mark Brunell and the high-powered Jacksonville Jaguars go to the Meadowlands to take on the New York Jets. The 30th anniversary season of Monday Night Football continues Monday live at 9 Eastern, 6 Pacific on ABC Sports. And I'm glad they moved the time back. I like it a lot better.
Yeah, me too.
I enjoy it.
There's another good left-handed quarterback. Brunell.
Igber cuts back, has an opening, squirts through, ball comes out. Ball is still loose. It is picked up by BYU. I believe it was Hashi Robertson. It is number 10.
Well, that's what happens. They've got tremendous talent. The skill positions at Cal. Joe Igber does a great job. Good line blocking. Cuts back. Look at the cutback ability here. Boom. On a dime. But you got to protect that ball. When you're a freshman, you learn the lessons the hard way.
And Hashi picks it up. And a pretty good bit of open field running.
Get back to that turnover idea with Cal. I mean, they really missing field goals, fumbling the ball after a good run.
BYU at the Cal 20, fakes, rolls, pressure from behind, sack. Nice play by Seiko Senyiko.
Well, the pros think a lot of number 13. You know, I was talking to his mother earlier today. She was actually in the civil rights battles of the 60s. This guy went to a great prep school in California, and the pros are drooling over him. He's got tremendous size and speed. No one man can block him. And in this case, number 26, Luke Staley, couldn't do it.
That is 3 consecutive sacks for California. Frederick took a beating last week, and he's doing it again. He's a tough kid. He'll hang in there. He told us, you know, if I can throw for a touchdown, I'll take the hit every time. But he's getting a lot of pressure, particularly from the backside. And remember, he's a left-hander, so the backside is coming from the opposite way. Throws has a man wide open right down the middle. Ofangawa, 28 yards. His second touchdown of the season.
Well, Charlie, I hate to say that. I didn't say this on camera, but you know, I just said number 91 is too good a player. He's come in and filled in for Carlos Nuno really nicely. Just pretends in a light block, then releases downfield. They do this a lot. You'll see him coming from back there, just hides in the line, and they forgot about him. Another nice thing about him, it's hard to bring him down.
Well, at 6'3", 250, it's kind of hard to hide in the line, too. Botchman with the extra point attempt. It is good, and BYU goes up 14-0 over Cal with 1:25 left to go in the first. And there's Hashi Robertson, who recovered the fumble, the senior, and that set up the touchdown. So BYU cashes in on the turnover as Cal continues to struggle.
You know, and we say that they continue to struggle because they're making these mistakes, but let's not forget 3 straight sacks on Federic. I mean, they're doing some good things out there. It's just they're just not putting it all together. You see this in the kind of karma of a good team in BYU. It's found its rhythm and just is relentless and will wear down any team that gets in their way if they give them any mistakes like Cal has.
2 plays on the 20-yard drive took a total of 27 seconds. So once again, LaShawn Ward and Daltha O'Neill will be the return men for California as Hodgman will kick off for the Cougars, and he has been sailing them into the end zone. And this one is also going to reach the end zone and the back edge of it.
You know, we haven't mentioned it, but it is 4,500 feet in altitude, and that gives you about an extra 8% more distance, because about every mile is about 1 atmosphere, which is about 10%. So you're getting about 5 or 6 more yards every kick.
You kickers know that, don't you?
Well, when we go to Denver and you notice the ball is sailing through the end zone.
It does, yes. I knew we were at altitude yesterday when I've been over and got up to see. Whoa, wait a minute, yes. California goes to work at their own 20-yard line, first down. Now trailing 14-0. Bowler from the shotgun runs right back into the defense. Byron Frisch, the new daddy, makes the play.
A lot of new daddies out there.
Yeah. No, he's not the new daddy. Jeff Holdry is the new daddy.
But they have 20 guys on this team that are married. 20 guys.
No, I know what I was thinking. Here's the pressure for Frisch. We were talking with him yesterday and asked him about celebrating after the game. And he says, well, to tell you the truth, I have 2 kids. One's 2 years old and one's 6 months old, and I'll celebrate by going home and changing diapers. That's it.
He also admitted his wife does. If his wife is listening, he did say that his wife does most of the diapers.
Here's the reverse. Eshima. Joe Eshima on the reverse. Jared Lee with the tackle. And the ball now at the 24-yard line. It will be 3rd down and 6. As Eshima comes right towards us and then cuts back. And is brought down by Jared Lee. 13 seconds and counting. That's the time remaining in the quarter. Marcus Fields is in as a wide receiver. Marcus is in as the tailback, stays in the block, and the pass is too hard to handle. It is incomplete to Pipersburg. That is the end of the first quarter. 1 down, 3 to go, and BYU is up 14-0.
Your website's going to be set up like an MMDS gigabyte with a rotating geostationary satellite. We feel that both you and your customer will appreciate binary riddles that users love. You know, that's part of the fun. Then wait till you guys see this. The technology will be obsolete by the time we leave here today, but that's okay because we'll come back.
Who designs your website is up to you. Hooking it up and delivering the goods, leave that up to us.
Of course, you ship everything FedEx.
FedEx, be absolutely sure.
State Farm presents Rules of the Game.
We're talking about taunting. In this play, the receiver, who just scored a touchdown, taunts the defender. Where do we assess the penalty?
You just discovered that your new set of wheels has no set of wheels. Worse yet, you've got cut-rate car insurance. So there's no State Farm agent to help with your claim. Maybe next time you'll go with a State Farm agent, so you won't have to go it alone.
We're talking about taunting. In this play, the player who scored the touchdown taunts a defender. This is a 15-yard penalty to be assessed on the PAT.
Rules of the Game has been brought to you by State Farm. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Hi, Jim Palmer for the Money Store.
Do you have too many credit cards? Do you just pay the minimum? And even then, are those payments late sometimes? Do you pay as much as 18% interest? Would you like all this pain to go away? If you're a homeowner, call the Money Store. They have a home equity loan that gets rid of all your credit card bills and can save you hundreds of dollars a month. The Back on Track plan. So call today and put all those credit card problems behind you. The Money Store, 1-800-LOAN-YES.
Stephen Natalie, Charlie and Diane, mornings on the Power of 2000.
This is ABC Sports, home of the Bowl Championship Series.
We start the second quarter. BYU leading Cal 14-0. Nick Harris for the Golden Bears will be kicking to Jaron Dabney of BYU. There's Jaron. Good kick. Stays high. Flag is down. Too close. 52 yards on the kick. And Callan was simply too close. You've got to give him 2 or 3 steps away, and he was right on top of him.
What you call your 2-yard halo. It's really hard to time, too. I mean, you're coming down full tilt. You've evaded a guy who's usually right on your heels. It's hard to slow down because you think the other guy's going to run over you, so you run into the guy.
Can we play that back in real time? Because it looked there almost as if, and in real time it looks as if he's on top of him. And that's the way the officials call it in real time. But sometimes our slow motion can kind of throw you off, saying, oh, he did have room, but watch this. Bam, bam. Oh, he was a lot closer in real time. Thank you.
Seems like they get faster, though. 20 years ago, it was bam, bam. I'm not surprised people get so many concussions these days.
Oh, boy. First down. BYU at their own 30-yard line. Frederick from the shotgun. And inside handoff. And it's good for a couple of yards. Now let's go to New York and John Saunders. John, is Georgia going to stay undefeated?
Charlie, Georgia has yet to lose, as you know, facing Tennessee, though, down 7-0. Quincy Carter back to pass, 27 yards, the perfect strike to Terrence Edwards. It ties the game at 7 apiece. And for more, go to the Bowl Championship Series online at ESPN.com, a part of the Go Network.
So, Georgia, they're perfect. Tennessee has lost only one. Good ball game. Andre Carter. Frederick's taking a beating. He took a beating last week. And, you know, he's a tough kid, but he had to miss practice this week for the first time in his 4 years at BYU. This is last week. There's one. Oh, there's another. Oh, remember he went out for one play, and then he came back in. He has a problem with his left knee. He has a brace on it. Sets, throws, and he's off target. He's behind Pittman.
Even the great quarterbacks, even the Joe Montanas, when they were playing the Lawrence Taylors of the world and the New York Giants, suddenly their accuracy was not quite the same. You get hit by somebody that hard enough times.
And you start looking around and saying, where are they when they line up?
Even the greatest quarterbacks of all time.
Jesse Sowers will be punting. Delta O'Neill, and he's an outstanding return man for Cal. He needs to get something going right now for the Golden Bears. There's pressure, flag, and it goes out of bounds.
That was just a superb punt. It almost blocked, still stayed with it, stayed over the ball.
44 yards on that kick. No flag.
Why do I have Aflac insurance on top of my regular health insurance? Because he has his mother's eyes. Because I still have to teach him to whistle. And because Aflac helps cover what other insurance doesn't. If I'm injured, Aflac even provides cash to help pay bills. So why do I have Aflac? Did I mention he has his mother's eyes? Aflac supplemental insurance. Without it, no insurance is complete.
We build walls with our everyday routines.
Walls that make a nasty habit of separating us from our dreams. But what if there was a way to break through to your dreams? There is a way. All you need is an outfitter with the right equipment. Ford is your outfitter, offering you the most far-reaching sport utilities on Earth. Climb in and watch the walls come tumbling down. Ford Outfitters, no boundaries.
There's this place in the neighborhood where they have these outrageous you pick 2 platters, and basically you pick 2 out of 3 entrees. It's 2 on 1 plate. You get the Cajun steak with all those sizzling spices, or a pile of succulent roasted garlic shrimp, or barbecue chicken with that sauce that sticks to your lips and your mind like some really interesting dream. It was too good to end, but it will, just like the you pick 2 platters. 2 entrees, 1 plate, only at Applebee's.
Monday, ambulances that get there too late, paramedics who don't come through. Sam Donaldson investigates what might happen the next time you dial 911 on 2020 Monday.
You know, one of the things about BYU that was good news for them is they had trouble covering punts last week against Utah State. They were giving up 20 yards punt return to Emmett White, and if they want to survive in this game on special teams against somebody as great as Delta O'Neal, they're going to have to kick away from him.
Kyle Boner, the quarterback for California, the young freshman, has completed only 1 of 8 passes, and that was for 5 yards. And he's back to throw. Sets, goes deep, and he overthrows. We talk about this arm that he has, this young freshman. We asked him, what's the furthest that you have thrown the ball in the air? 83 yards. Hello. 17 more, and he has a football field.
They talk about a famous completion, a lot like John Elway, where he'd roll out, let's say, to his right, and come all the way across the field and break coverage there. He threw it 73 yards in the air for completion.
Oh, the tools are there. It just takes time. We asked him one of the things, what is the difference in high school? It's so fast in college. It's so quick. And when you talk to the college players when they go in the pros, it's so fast, so much faster. It just steps up. Here's Egbert. Joe Egbert had a 55-yard gain on the first running play of the game. This time he goes near the first down at the 36-yard line. Jeff Holtree makes the tackle.
Great block by Scott DeCero, the freshman. They've got 3 true freshmen playing. They would have Forth Ainsworth, who's also a freshman, redshirt freshman, was playing today.
Salim Muhammad is now in as the running back. Muhammad is the ball carrier. Races for the corner, has it, and then goes out of bounds at around the 45-yard line. Next Saturday, you will see in the Pac-10 the Sun Devil, powerful and speedy rusher J.R. Redmond, as he leads Arizona State against the Washington Huskies. That's next Saturday at 4 Pacific on ABC Sports. We have a flag down.
You know, Salim Muhammad showed a little speed there around the corner. When you get to 26, Luke Staley on the other side of the ball, some running backs have that extra gear as they come around the corner. I like what I'm seeing with Cal.
Illegal block below the waist on the offense. 15 yards, remains first down.
Go ahead.
I was about to say
yes.
that I like
so
what I see.
Rudely interrupted by the referee.
And before he so rudely told them that they had not done it illegally. Unfortunately, they set fire to some of their best drives.
The Bears do self-destruct, don't they? They have opportunities, they make their own opportunities, and they can't follow through with them. Of course, a lot of that, in fact, that's youth. And they have a very young ball club. Fake in the reverse. Does not fool a soul. Bowler is dropped at the 21-yard line. Loss of 5. It's now time for the Aflac trivia question. This week's question, as of today, that's as of 6 o'clock this morning, which 2 Division 1A teams have played all their games this season in their home state? And we'll have the answer in a little while. I don't know the answer. I guess Notre Dame, and everybody said, no, you're wrong.
They're on probation, actually. They can't even leave the state.
Pump fake, fires, and bounces it. Sean Ward, the intended receiver. I just have a feeling on watching Kyle Bowler. One, I think that he's nervous, and still he hadn't settled in. Should have settled in now by now. But he's throwing the ball too hard, or he's trying to make too perfect a throw, rather than just relaxing and throw the ball and using the talent that he has. He's impressive. We talked to him last night. He was really impressive. From the shotgun. Knocked away.
It just seems like unless they can get him to roll away from the rush, give him just an extra second, this happens almost every other play.
They may have to move the pocket. You're right. So Nick Harris will be kicking. Watch the top of your screen. Right there. Well, that was almost with the elbow. That wasn't near high enough.
That was a real solid block.
Jared Dabney, the return man. Just over 12 minutes left to go in the first half. Another good check. Taken at the 23. Slips one tackle around the corner. And he's brought down to the 32-yard line. Not a bad return. Joe Eshima brought him down 55 yards on the kick and a 9-yard counter punt.
Out here, the stories unfold like a map. Stories written across the sky with the tip of an eagle's wing, or read between the lines of a sheer rock face. Stories you can hear in the thunder of a river. The kind of stories that could fill a scrapbook you'd want to page through again and again. Of course, to fill that scrapbook, you gotta get out there where the stories live. You're gonna need an outfitter for the journey, an outfitter for your dreams. Ford is your outfitter, offering you the most far-reaching sport utilities on Earth, each designed and built to take you where the stories begin and never end. Ford Outfitters, no boundaries.
At Burger King, we're always trying to make have it your way better.
I'll have a new chicken club sandwich.
What's up with this?
It's the new Chicken Club. We're trying to give you the genuine club experience.
But the tasty new Chicken Club is excitement enough. A new way to satisfy your craving for our tender, juicy chicken sandwich with lettuce, tomato, and hickory smoked bacon for a real taste sensation anytime you want.
Can I buy you something to drink?
When you have it your way, it just tastes better.
ABC Sports presentation of college football is brought to you by Ford Outfitters, no boundaries. By Burger King. When you have it your way, it just tastes better. By Aflac. Without it, no insurance is complete. And by Bud Light. For the great taste that won't fill you up and never let you down, make it a Bud Light. This is Charlie Jones and Nick Lowry. We're at Cougar Stadium, Provo, Utah. 11:50. That is the time remaining in the first half. And Brigham Young University is up 14-0 over the California Golden Bears. And BYU has the ball at their own 32-yard line. Kevin Federick, the Cougars quarterback, is having an outstanding afternoon, while Kyle Bowler, the young freshman quarterback from Cal, is struggling a bit. And now Tabinho. Mavuko Tabinho sacks Federick from the backside. And he's been getting backside pressure as a left-hander all afternoon. He takes the beating.
Here it is from the right side of your screen. Just blows right over Ford Poston. And if there is somebody who's had a little problem lately, it's been number 76. It hasn't been quite as mobile. Hurt his ankle in the Virginia game. And Muko, as they call him, just blew right over him.
For California, 6 sacks. BYU has lost 47 yards inside. From the shotgun, now his time. Goes deep, has a man, and he hits him along the sideline. That's Brandon Doman, who is listed also as the number 3 quarterback. He has 19 yards.
One of those classic clear-out patterns where the outside receiver runs downfield and clears the zone. Doman actually is part of a family of 4 brothers who played for BYU. He's a great running quarterback, and you know, if God forbid Federer's hurt in running situations, he's the best they've got.
First down for BYU just outside their own 42-yard line. 4 wide receivers. Federic likes 4 wide. Says that's what he has in high school. He can read the whole field with 4 wide. He goes to margin hooks. And earlier we asked you the Affleck trivia question. The answer is the teams that have played all the games in their home state. Pitt, 4 at home. Well, that's and 1 at Penn State. And BYU, 4 at home and 1 at Utah. That's interesting. I really thought it'd be one of the Florida teams, because there's so many teams in Florida. I think one would not have to leave the state. Federic now 7 of 8, 156 yards and 2 touchdowns. Luke Staley. He is a load and a half. Keith Miller is the first man to get to him, and the second was Tully Bantakane, 13 yards.
That was interesting. Jason Skakanek, number 68, pulls out, comes back this way, and creates a little extra room for Luke Staley.
You were telling me that you were watching Staley on tape and how tough a runner he is and how hard he is to bring down.
He's got one of those huge thighs. When he shows you his hip coming around that corner, in addition to accelerating, you just can't, one man can't bring him down.
And Staley, they blow the handoff.
Of course, that's not counting the quarterback.
Okay, what's happening in Tennessee, Georgia? Let's go to John Saunders. John?
Well, Charlie, T. Martin back at it again. This time hooking up with Jamal Lewis, covers 10 yards as Tennessee, great little move there, into the end zone. Tennessee has retaken the lead, 14-7 the count. We'll keep you up to date, Charlie. Back to you.
All right, thank you, John. That's a good ball game.
And remember, it's part of the Go Network.
At the 45-yard line. Second down and 16. Lots of time. Delay pass. Little swing out. Pisataki. Across the 40 to the 39. Andre Carter makes the tackle. Time to tee it up. Tomorrow, Finney champion David Duval goes for 3 in a row at the Michelob Championship. Remember what he did in the Ryder Cup. He was awesome on Sunday. That's tomorrow at 2 Eastern, 1 Pacific on ABC Sports. Mike Weir is 8 under. He is the 3rd round leader, and Duval is 4 back.
One of the great comebacks in golf history.
And that's, I tell you, and that's a great golf course that they're playing on. That tomorrow's telecast, that'll be a lot of fun. California got an early start. This was Jeremiah Parker.
They're kind of anxious today. But Norm Chowder, the offensive coordinator for 22 years for BYU, said
Offside.
This is the best front 7.
5 yards. 3rd down.
Excuse me.
3rd down.
There he is. Very, very frank and candid. Very comfortable. The big change this year is learning from Rich Rodriguez from Tulane, now with Clemson, about how to properly put in that shotgun, which has given a tremendous amount of renewed confidence for Kevin Federer.
3rd down and 5, 34-yard line. Here's the shotgun. They're going to run out of time. So we have a timeout call.
3rd down is always, in the NFL, they're so technical. Big contrast between BYU at 43% on 3rd down and about 23% for Cal.
All right, 8:24 time remaining. First half, back in a moment.
Is it me, guys? Or do we really look ridiculous?
Man, for free Bud Light, I'm doing 70s night.
Come on, brother.
Shut the door! You're letting in a draft.
For the great taste that won't fill you up and never lets you down, make it a Bud Light.
We build walls with our everyday routines. Walls that make a nasty habit of separating us from our dreams. But what if there was a way to break through to your dreams? There is a way. All you need is an outfitter with the right equipment. Ford is your outfitter, offering you the most far-reaching sport utilities on Earth. Climb in and watch the walls come tumbling down. Ford Outfitters, no boundaries.
Is it cool to smoke? Over 100 BYU athletes are involved in the Buff Don't Puff program.
Ready? Go. Come on, guys. I'm waiting, man.
We tell the kids, if you want to be strong and healthy, don't take tobacco. You can tell yourself, I will never take tobacco into my life. That means he's pledged to be tobacco-free. Good job. Remember, Buff Don't Puff. Okay, let's go.
Promotional consideration provided by National Car Rental, the official car rental company of the Bowl Championship Series on ABC.
Let's go!
Story of the game, everybody. 8 for 9 for Kevin Federick, 162 yards, as opposed to 1 for 11 for Kyle Bowler.
Third down. And again, Cal makes a mistake. This is Parker. That should be encroachment, coming across and making contact prior to the ball being snapped, if there was no movement on the offensive line. But from Parker's reaction, you had the feeling that he messed up, and he knew it. And sometimes in this situation, here's the call.
Defense at 5 yards. First down.
You have the feeling the strength of California, we talked about it early on, is their front seven. And when you get down 14-0, your front seven or your strength of your ball club, sometimes you have to do it all. You have to do it all.
And you got to make a big play.
And you get out of doing what you really do well. 8 penalties against Cal for a total of 50 yards. It's a first down. Here comes everybody. Deep. Has a man caught. End zone touchdown. It is margin hooks for 29 yards.
Well, Kevin Federick has been entered in the Johnny Unitas sweepstakes, and certainly the Davey O'Brien sweepstakes, his best quarterback in the country. How can you say that this guy is not about as accurate as you can get? Absolutely no way that the defender could get close to that ball.
He beat Dre Harris, and so Federick has spreads it around. It's been Pittman, Ofungawe, and Hooks, each with a touchdown. Hodgman to attempt the extra point. And it is good.
Look at that catch.
15th touchdown on the year for Federick.
That's what I call high-quality H2O.
Now, the Water Boy is yours to own for the first time.
You can do it!
Plus, you can enter to win a trip to the Nokia Sugar Bowl in New Orleans to see the BCS National Championship game as an honorary Water Boy.
Oh! I think that's sexy.
Grab your copy of The Water Boy. Take it home on video and DVD and enter today.
Tonight, we had the perfect meal for us. The Olive Garden's never-ending pasta bowl. You pick any of the special pastas, and you get all the free refills you want, plus all the salad and breadsticks for $6.95. Good thing I was born hungry. The Olive Garden. When you're here, you're family.
Who can solve this? Mr. Montez.
Last Saturday in the Army Reserve, I linked up 40 tanks, 60 Humvees, and 7,000 troops. On Monday, class was no sweat.
Not bad, Mr. Montez.
As little as 1 weekend a month, 2 weeks a year. Army Reserve.
There is Federick, 3 touchdown passes in today's ball game. Now with 8:19 left in the first half, BYU is up 21-0. Hodgman will kick off. Delta O'Neill and LaShawn Ward are the deep backs.
Well, it's out of the end zone again.
They have really been kicking off well.
You know, those kickers kickers sure can kick these days.
Yes, they can.
Back in my day.
Let's go back to the touchdown.
Well, Federic's breaking 200 yards, and this is absolutely as perfectly thrown as you can get, and a tremendous catch by Margin Hooks.
Boy, that's hard, directly over his head. Right there, reaching back.
It's like Willie Mays, the catch.
Lance Allward told me that's the hardest catch in the world, because when you do that, you look straight back, you run on your heels, and it bounces your eyeballs up and down, and you lose where the ball is. Great catch, good play. Here's a sack for BYU as Kyle Bowler goes down.
Well, I'm glad we get to talk about Satema Nali, number 99. He's their fastest defensive lineman. He's really come on the last 2-3 games for them. He's been really their best defensive lineman.
There's a quarterback comparison. That is the third sack of the ballgame for the Cougars. And California now has given up a total of 21 sacks on the year. And the ball back at the 13-yard line. 2nd and 17. Bowler to throw. 3 steps. He is on target to Marcus Fields. Am I right? That's his second completion of the ballgame. Only his second completion of the ballgame. But that one, he took a little off of it. He just, like he relaxed and threw it.
That's the other side of the coin. Remember old Bobby Douglas for the Chicago Bears?
Yep.
Always seemed to throw the ball so hard he dug a hole in the ground. The touch that Federic has makes his ball so catchable.
Fields shaken up, goes to the sideline. He had been the starting tailback, now moved to a wide receiver, and Igber is the starting tailback.
And Fields is a talented running back as well.
Pressure from the backside, avoids it. Nice touch right over the middle. He goes to Igber, and he's got the first down, so that's 2 in a row. 18 yards on the play. Jeff Poultry makes the tackle. Next Saturday, most of you will see UCLA's all-time leading receiver, Danny Farmer, and the Bruins go head-to-head against California in the Pac-10. That's next Saturday at 12:30 Pacific on ABC Sports, plus other regional action. Marks the ball at the 38-yard line. Kyle Bowler now with a little bit of a hot hand on this drive. Four-man rush gives to Igber. Makes a nice cutback and is brought down at the 44-yard line. So a good run. Jared Lee, free safety, makes the tackle for BYU.
Mark my words, at this time next year, Kyle Bowler will be 15 pounds heavier. He'll be a lot more confident.
Probably 3 inches taller because he's growing like crazy.
He's grown 8 inches in the last 2 years. He's going to grow into his body, and he's going to grow into this team.
Joe Igber, that was his 8th carry. He has rushed now for 99 yards in the ballgame. Here comes the blitz. Has to get rid of it. And he's off target. Davenport, the intended receiver. Isaac Kelly was there. But everybody was coming on that one. And he's seen a lot of that. Ooh.
But it's not like that's that different from what Kevin Federic's dealing with in terms of the hits. It's just he's getting even less time. And he's thrown his last 2 passes with the touch that we know that he can have.
Yes. 3rd down. Three steps. Pass is low, incomplete. Joe Eshima, the intended receiver. Brian Gray had the coverage. California runs out of downs, and that means that Nick Harris will come in to kick it away to Jaron Dabney.
We don't have the stat right now, but it's about 4 or 5 passes that have been catchable that have been dropped.
Dabney sets up shop at the 14-yard line. Taken at the 10. and brought down at the 11-yard line. Nice coverage by Scott Fujita. 46 yards on the kick and 1 yard on the return. Be sure to stay with us because coming up, the Valvoline halftime 99 with John Sanders, Terry Bowden with scores and highlights, including John Saunders, including the latest on the Heisman race, and that's becoming very interesting. Yes. I just, you know, now with Warwick out, and I'm just wondering if Federic can make a late move, because he is really putting up some numbers, and he is second in the nation in total offense.
It's not going to slow down today either.
No, not at all. And jumping to the outside is Fahutahi. Andre Carter and Keith Miller on the tackle. And the Cougars have been averaging 35 points a game, and Federic is guiding an offense that is averaging 490 yards a game. 490 yards a game, the average, and so that catches that will catch the eye of a lot of voters. So he could be a long shot for it.
Set the clock to 5:13. 5-1-3. Thank you.
Sataki is down.
The relentless quality of this offense too. Just the defense after a while just can't, and add the altitude into it. It's just hard to maintain that intensity.
No. Kalani Sataki. So he is now being administered. 2 clock is stopped with 5:13. That is the time remaining in the first half. BYU is up 21-0 over Cal.
You know, a lot of the players, of course, with the LDS have to do a mission, and Kalani Sataki spent 6 months at Cal Berkeley trying to convert people on campus there. Actually, he was serving his mission there, but he spent 6 months and spent some time with the Cal staff there. Interesting international quality to this game too. A lot of Hawaiian players and Samoan players on BYU, and from Nigeria and Africa on Cal.
All right, we're set to go. Play action fake, backside pressure. It's up for grabs, and it is intercepted. It is Delta O'Neal who has the ball, and he is into the end zone for the touchdown. A very poor decision by Kevin Federic when he had the pressure again from the backside. O'Neal picks it up and goes in to score. That is his second touchdown of the year. The first one also coming off of an interception, and his third interception of the year.
The hardest thing in the world is when you're getting hit from the backside and you don't even see the pressure. Probably shouldn't even thrown it, even if there wasn't pressure from that side. But throwing in Delta O'Neal's direction, who's had a 75-yard interception for a touchdown, is not a good decision.
Scott Fujita was the man who caused it all. And the extra point is up, and it is good. Is that Mark Jensen? It was Mark Jensen that kicked the extra point rather than Hershey. And so Cal goes to 7 points and trail by 14. So we have a 21-7 ball game. Here it is. There comes that backside pressure.
Tully Bantakane, number 48. They're just pulling at him, so he really doesn't get everything into it.
Ben Horton, the intended receiver. He hit him almost with a sidearm throw.
Delta O'Neal, by the way, I talked to his mother today in the hotel. She said that Delta likes to dance and he likes to sing, and participated in a number of singing competitions in high school. I said, is he good? She said, no. But he does like to sing.
That may be the only honest mother in America.
By the way, that's Delta, not Delta.
So Cal will now kick off to the Cougars. Dabney is the deep back of the three to return the ball. And Mark Jensen, who just added the extra point, will kick off.
Who happened to have kicked the game-winning field goal in the state championship game in Utah last year.
And he sails it out of the end zone. All right, we talked yesterday with Kevin Frederick about taking so many hits, and this is his response.
Scoring a touchdown and me taking a hit, I'll take it. And that's been the case a few times this year where I've had to run around and make a play. And I know I'm just going to take a shot, but I know I'm throwing a touchdown too, so it doesn't even hurt.
I'll tell you something, though, that last one hurt.
That one will hurt.
That will hurt. So BYU now starts from the 20-yard line. Their margin has been cut to 14 points. Let's see if this lifts the Cal defense. 5 wide receivers. Incomplete. Good coverage downfield.
Andre Carter continues, along with Jacob Wasdorp, to put tremendous pressure every single play. Started that against Virginia 2 weeks ago, and it begins to add up.
And Carter's down. Here's a look at the pressure. He goes in low.
And it certainly hurts when they hit you right there.
Oh, yeah.
His, I don't know what happened. Whether he pulled something when he was diving so low at Frederick.
From San Jose. Injuries continue to take their toll on the Golden Bears. They're not that deep, but here's another one. We'll step aside, and we'll be back.
He was a Scottish immigrant who spent a lifetime writing of the beauty he found in all things wild. And through his words, his love, John Muir helped establish our country's national park system. To preserve wonders like these for generations to come. State Farm salutes life heroes because State Farm understands life.
11 blue-clad warriors stand on the brink of battle and ask themselves, where is the other team?
Groovin' on a Sunday afternoon.
Nothing helps you kick back at the end of the day like Tostitos chips and salsa.
I can't imagine anything.
We do suggest you actually wait till the end of the day.
He's a fine dancer, too.
Dig in, kick back with new hint of lime Tostitos.
I vow to make you invincible, to make your engine sing, to use the strong, tough synthetic oil, the one that has a super breed of molecules to protect you from cold, heat, dirt, time, the one that'll help keep you from growing old. I will never let you die.
Valvoline SynPower, advanced synthetic technology.
Robbie Bosco, BYU quarterback coach. Oh, what a great man to have as your quarterback.
That was a halo.
Ooh.
Led them to their only national championship.
2nd down and 10. From the shotgun. If they're covered, throw it away. And he almost made the first row of the stands. There's no question about that.
What I admire about Cal's defense is they keep on coming. They've scored 3 touchdowns this year versus only 5 for the offense. And a lot of those offensive in the last couple of years have come from Mugo Tabena.
Jerry DeLoach was the last man putting the pressure on Kevin Federer. So it's 3rd down and 10. We're creeping up on halftime. Everybody goes out in the pattern, goes deep over the middle, and overthrows. Jonathan Pittman, the intended receiver, and he had the inside of O'Neal. And if it had been just a little underthrown and a little further to his left, he might have had a good shot at it.
They had a crossing pattern of a receiver and a tight end at about 15 yards, tried to draw the zone coverage inside and isolate the deep pattern, but it was just a little off target.
So Jesse Sowers will be kicking to the touchdown scoring Delta O'Neal. Hangs up. Taken at the 40. Heads to the corner. Needs a block. Cuts back. Now he's going to reverse. Needs another block at the corner. Has the corner. Down the sideline and out of bounds. Inside the 30-yard line. 41 yards on the kick. 100 yards running on the return for a total of 31. And Jesse Sowers was the man who finally got him. But it was a Torrey Callan with the key block to spring it. He's exciting, isn't it?
Reminds me a little bit of Marcus Allen on that famous Super Bowl run, just reversing field completely. Glad we're getting a chance to see why this guy is so feared.
Sowers takes him out of bounds. Good going for the kicker. 30-yard line. Goes into coverage. Well, I'll tell you, the defensive back for BYU, both of them on that side, sealed off both of the intended receivers. There really was nobody to go to. Davenport, the intended receiver, had absolutely no shot. Here, watch the defenders.
Well, you'll see that the art for Hashi Robertson is to get the receiver, Davenport, to run up his back, slow down just enough to interfere with him without making it too obvious.
Bowler now 3 of 16 for 29 yards throwing. And a swing to the right side. Salim Muhammad to the 27-yard line. So he picks up about 3 on the play. Chris Watkins with the tackle for BYU. Igber is going to come out of the lineup. Joe Eshima comes in to replace him for California.
Third down is the watershed for this team.
Bowler right on target. He goes to Ronnie Davenport. A 2-step drop, fires, hits him 12 yards in the first down. They convert on third down. Now Bowler's starting to look a lot better than he did in the first quarter.
One of the reasons Charlie looked better was that the All-America caliber defensive back Brian Gray fell down on the coverage on that play, which gave him one of those brief respites of pressure.
That will help you, yes. 3 wide receivers on the near side. Muhammad moves to the far side as a wide receiver. Quarterback sneak. And at 6'4", 200 pounds is still growing. He wedges his way forward with a size 14 shoe. And he just steps out on a couple of people. Tyler Nelson finally brings him down.
They called him Monkey Man because his hands and feet were so big.
You know, I shook hands with him last night, and he reminded me of John Elway's hand, just wrapped completely around you. You know, he's got all the tools. I think that he could be, in time, somebody like a John Elway. But it's going to take time.
He was an athlete, too, in high school. He played and made a key interception at safety in the playoffs his senior year.
Second down at the 11-yard line. 2.5 minutes left of the first half. Timeout. He had 6 seconds on the play clock. Did not like the defense. Does not want to waste an opportunity. I like that call. I really like that call, because if Cal can get 7 more points, they're right in the middle of the ball game.
Cal, UCLA next Saturday. We're going to see UCLA's Danny Farmer. Hurry, we can't miss this game.
Tonight at 8, 7 Central. Kurt Russell.
Enough nerve agent here to wipe out half the eastern seaboard.
Steven Seagal.
There's a hatch on the belly of the 747. We could dock there.
And Halle Berry in the blockbuster event.
We're not gonna make it!
Executive Decision. Tonight at 8, 7 Central on the ABC Big Picture Show. A great movie every Saturday night. Parental discretion advised.
Here's a quarter-by-quarter comparison for Kyle Bowler. In the first period, he completed only 1 of 8 for 5 yards. And he's hitting, 33% in the second quarter, 3 of 9 for 36 yards. The thing that I feel, or that I see, is his body language. He's not rushing himself.
Right.
And he's using more of a touch, where I felt in the first quarter, he was just firing everything at the same speed, which was too
This
fast.
drive was just totally different. It was as if some quarterback coach from heaven finally made it through to him. The whole team, though, Charlie, is playing with more confidence. Their body language is different.
Joe Igber is stopped. Ryan Denny and Josh Lowe were both there for BYU.
Timeout, BYU. Prior to the snap, no play.
BYU
prior to the snap.
called a timeout prior to the snap, so there is no play. So there is no loss. And it will still be second down when we come back, or when the players come back out. Now, last night we mentioned the fact that we talked with Kyle Bowler. We also talked with his head coach, Tom Holmoe. You see Tom here, who played at BYU. And we asked about his comments on Kyle Bowler.
I don't think that he has the respect of the seniors as far as being a leader. I think they respect him and that he's kind of gone in there and competed. He's kept his mouth shut and not tried to go in there and be a talker. But at the same time, they like the way he competes, and they like his attitude.
And I think that's a very insightful statement, because seniors have, traditionally have always looked down on, on freshmen. And you've got to prove yourself that you're a member of this team. Even though you're the quarterback, that you're the leader, you still have to prove yourself. And it comes over a period of time, and it comes in playing the game.
Well, by contrast, you have Rob Morris. We asked him, are you that good? Are you as good as people say? He said, well, I really can't say much because I haven't played that much, but frankly, I am. But you're a senior.
Yes.
You can say those things.
You can say that when you're a senior. That is right.
And when you're as good as he is as well.
Oh, yeah.
He does have a tough injury to Rob Morris, the groin injury that affects your hip flexor and everything you do.
There he is.
It's really hard to, especially when you're aggressive like him.
With the cap on, lower abdominal strain. He said they're going to have to chain me to the bench if I put on the uniform. Calling an audible. Igber breaks clean, heads for the end zone, has it for the touchdown. Joe Igber. That is his first touchdown in college. He scores from 11 yards out, and all of a sudden, the California Golden Bears are right back in the middle of this.
Talking about body language, it really looks now like Kyle Bowler knows what he's looking for, what he's expecting. Great block there from Scott Tessero and Langston Walker. Excuse me, Brandon Ludwig as well, number 65.
Igber now has totaled 110 yards rushing, and the touchdown, his career high for this true freshman. And the extra point by Mark Jensen is good. And suddenly, with 2:22 remaining in the first half, it is BYU 21 and California 14. So look out, here come the Golden Bears. Now let's take another look at that touchdown from 11 yards out.
Igber's got great acceleration. Once you give him a hole, it's over.
And that is what, of course, that Tom Holmoe, the head coach of California, told us that he wanted in moving Igber to the tailback and Marcus Fields out as a wide receiver. Because Fields, they needed help at wide receiver, and Igber simply had that great burst of speed.
And it's not really that much of criticism of Fields. Fields is a talented player. Reminds me a little bit of Barry Sanders sometimes when he twists and turns, but not quite as fast as Igber. Who, by the way, is from the Tiv tribe from Nigeria.
and part of the Nigerian connection.
That's right.
And we will have more on that in the second half, including graphics, talking.
We've got it all.
Yes, complete package. Dabney is the deep man. Jensen to kick off.
And we've got a game too, Charlie.
Oh yes. And I don't expect a return to the end zone. See, maybe a little of that is altitude, but these are good kickers.
I don't know what they're doing with those balls, man. But
Nick is just shaking his head.
Does a lot for your confidence, though. One thing it does as a kicker, too, is you know, like a golfer, when you relax, don't try to kill the ball, you usually hit it better anyway, more consistent.
All right, BYU starts at their 20-yard line. They now have the K-ball in the pros where they can't be tampered with or put in the microwave or heated up.
We don't want to do that.
9 of 14, but am I right? Kevin has missed his last 4 passes. He is 0 for his last 4. From the shotgun, the inside handoff. They'll lose a couple of yards.
Egbert did have that fumble earlier in the game, but this is the kind of situation where what's wonderful about college football is the emotional momentum. And I can see that this defense, as opportunistic as it can be with that front 7, can turn the ball over and suddenly we've got a tie game. In the defense, in the secondary, the pressure again is going to be on number 24, LaShawn Ward, who's very fast but very inexperienced, another freshman, and number 23, Atari Collin.
That was Staley, who was dropped by Tobinho and Parker. Loss of 2, 2nd and 12. With touch down the sideline and just out of reach. Margin Hooks, the intended receiver. He's already scored a touchdown in the ball game. Had a shot at another one. It was just, maybe a couple of feet too long. The last 6 plays for BYU, minus 2 yards plus that interception and touchdown. So their offense has stalled for a while.
That was
always expecting pressure. There is none. Maybe there's some I didn't see.
I think there's a little English in that too.
Yeah. 3rd down and 12. On target to Ben Horton. Horton loves to come over the middle.
We talked to him a couple days ago. Ben, very tough competitor, very fast, 4.5 in the 40. And once again, another clear out pattern where the outside receiver runs down about 15, 20 yards, and that clears out the zone for 88 who runs an out.
Jimenez and Nwokma were there for California. It is a 1st down at the 30-yard line. He needed 12 and he got 12.
This is a statement drive for BYU. You've got to reassert control.
Minute 28, time remaining, 1st half. We have whistles. 5 wide receivers in the set.
Timeout, Cal. Last charge timeout.
Cal looking at the 5 receiver offensive set. And they, we believe, only had 10 men. We did a quick count, only 10 men. And 5 receivers, 10 defenders, that doesn't figure. Timeout.
Great moments in college sports make great memories and often inspire great achievement beyond the game. Come see it all at the Hall, the new NCAA Hall of Champions, a place to relive the action, savor the memories, discover what it means to be a true champion, and that might be the greatest moment sports has ever produced. The NCAA Hall of Champions, opening in downtown Indianapolis in March 2000.
1 minute, 28 seconds, time remaining if BYU wants to make or can make, or if the defense lets them make, of Cal, a statement before the half, because since the interception, it is all leaning towards the Golden Bears.
No one would have predicted that 10 minutes ago, would they?
No, they wouldn't. But old momentum will strike again.
Well, they had great success, BYU, last week with their tight ends, and they mix it up so much. They average 10.5 different receivers every week. I mean, that's unbelievable.
The half receiver is just a small chap.
He's a very short man. And sometimes they forget him. They don't see him.
We go with 5 wide again. Line of scrimmage, the 30-yard line. Has pressure, steps forward, he's going to run for it. He's got the first down, heads to the sideline, cruises out of bounds at near the 50-yard line. A gain of 20 yards on the play.
Oh, we need to see this
chased
again.
him out.
You'll watch number 20, the free safety, DeStefano, back on this side of the screen. And he turns and follows number 11, Doman, and completely misses the quarterback running behind him. Gives about an extra 10 yards to Federick.
Out at the Cal 49, first down. Pressure from the outside. Pass is complete. It's Hooks again. And Hooks goes out of bounds. That stops the clock. 1:13 left in the first half. Margin up. 23 yards. And so the BYU statement is being written.
At the top of your screen, it's just all the way across the field. And when you have time to throw, BYU, when it has this kind of time, completes it almost every time. He's doing it on number 25, Chidi Awuma, who is coming back from an ankle injury. He's also, I believe, one of the Nigerians.
Yes, he is. Hooks now, 4 receptions, 73 yards. A breather now. He has a touchdown to his credit. Averaging 18.3. 4 wide receivers. Inside handoff to Luke Staley. Staley goes out of bounds. 18-yard line.
If you look at Luke Staley, he does not get the ball nearly as often in the middle of the field. But when they start getting near the goal line, he's their go-to guy. Watch him on at least one more sweep on this drive.
J.J. Jimenez and Damian Marzette take him out for California. The ball now at the 18-yard line. Still a lot of time, minute 07. Five seconds on the play clock. Trips on the far side. Lofts it to the far side, and it is intercepted, is it? In the end zone. They're going to mark the ball at the 1-yard line.
Well, that was
Delta O'Neal with the interception, and not a good throw by Federick.
No, it was almost as if, Charlie, he was expecting Horton to go somewhere else. Horton's running straight up the field, and he throws it behind him. You don't know it. We don't know who made the mistake on that, whether that was Horton's misread or whether it was actually the quarterback who just made a mistake.
You almost had the feeling that he was throwing to a spot.
I think in the NFL they would have given them the touchback. Say that it carried and the momentum carried him into the end zone.
Yes.
Well, that body language tells me they thought Horton was supposed to be running towards the flag.
O'Neal's second interception of the ball game. 1:01, time remaining. This will be a quarterback sneak. No, they're not. They take a chance. Oh. You're always taking a chance with a safety with the pressure that the BYU defensive line can give you. There's Igber. Hans Olsen and Byron Frisch on the stop.
Didn't Drew Brees throw a 99-yard touchdown pass in this exact situation about 3 weeks ago?
We've got timeout call. Now 51 seconds.
I mean,
I don't remember to tell you the
if
truth.
you're Cal, why not? Why not pull one of those John Elways? Go for it.
Well, you're
Be
right
aggressive.
in the middle. Yeah, but you're right in the middle of the ball game. You're only down by 7. You know, why take a chance? I would figure they'd run a quarterback sneak just so that they don't give up the safety. Milk as much of the clock as you possibly can. Keep the ball on the ground. Don't make any mistakes. Kick it. You got a great punter. Kick it away, and you should hold it.
I like one shot, though. You know, you develop the mentality. You worry about making mistakes, and you're going to make them. And they're in a different zone right now. Let's hope it continues for them.
Listen, California is so happy to be within 7 of BYU right now that they don't want to mess it up. They want to go into the halftime on this high and come out the same way.
And you've got a former defensive back as your head coach.
Yes. 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 All right, here's the BYU schedule. Of course, California today, October the 9th, at New Mexico, at UNLV. Only 2 home games remaining, Air Force and then Utah at the end of the season, November the 6th, at San Diego State and then at Wyoming.
We want to go into that Air Force game 6-1.
There's your quarterback sneak.
Too much of a good thing, Charlie?
Oh, I would do it again. We've got another timeout. Is that the last timeout for BYU? That is their last timeout. All right. 41 seconds. So you run one more quarterback sneak.
Timeout. BYU. Final charge timeout.
41 seconds left. You run it, you milk it as much as you can, and then you sit and let the clock run down, take the penalty, half of the yardage back, and then you kick it away.
I'm telling you.
And they end up with 2 or 3 seconds, and that's it.
Play action and throw it 80 yards downfield.
Of course, this October the 9th against BYU, then at UCLA, which is on ABC in the West, and then home Washington and USC at Oregon State, and then Oregon, and then, of course, they end up with the game, the big one. Stanford in California, one of the hottest tickets in town, and it's always a great game, great tradition on that one.
My father, brother, and sister all went to Stanford. For what that's worth.
Well, my son went to Stanford.
You know, both these teams today have great educational commitments.
Yes.
So I mean, you really see the difference in the quality of the athletes and their attitude.
And don't forget, John and Terry are still standing by with Valvoline Halftime 99. As we creep up on the halftime, we're not rushing into it, but they will have a full report for us. This is 3rd down. And there it is. And let's see when the ball is marked ready for play, which will be interesting. They will not need to run another play. So you could just take the countdown.
Tale of 2 quarters.
Yes. And California coming from behind to pull within 7 of BYU when it looked as if the Cougars were in complete control. It's official. It is now halftime. And it is BYU 21 and California 14 to New York. John and Terry. Gentlemen.
All right, Charlie, thanks a lot. It's been a very interesting day in college football. And one of the night matchups, Tennessee against Georgia. Georgia 4-0, but probably a little suspect 4-0. That's T. Martin going in for his 3rd touchdown run of the day. Georgia the last couple of weeks have won by 1 point. And remember, against Tennessee and Florida last year, they lost by a combination of 60-10.
They have not looked good all year. They do not look very good tonight. Quincy Carter, Jim Donnan, for that matter, they have not beaten Tennessee in their careers.
T. Martin, though, has looked very good in this game. Nebraska and Iowa State, Correll Buckhalter has 2 touchdown runs. Dan Alexander with a touchdown run. Their offense, Terry, it struggled early on, and they won behind their defense. Right now, they've got it going.
They really do. Over 200 yards rushing in the first half. They held Iowa State, the leading rushing team in the country, to 50 yards rushing in the first half.
Virginia Tech is the beast of the East, and Michael Vick, a big reason why. 18 yards to Andre Davis, who backs into the end zone. It's again Rutgers. Rutgers stayed with them for about 3 minutes, and then it was a blowout. 56-14 the score here. Can this team run the table?
Well, Michael Vick was the only question mark they had coming into this season. Great defense, great running team, great special teams. He threw four touchdown passes first half.
I'll take that as a yes. Washington against Oregon State. Washington's won 11 straight against them. Willie Hurst, 2 touchdown runs, 28 points off 6 turnovers. Back with more of the full day of college football right after this.
Announcing America's newest tire store, your Ford and Lincoln Mercury dealer. They have just the brand name tires for you. Tires designed and built for your Ford, Mercury, or Lincoln. All at competitive prices. Now the best place to get tires is from factory-trained technicians, the people who know your car best. Quality care service, the right people, the right parts, and always the right prices at participating Ford and Lincoln Mercury dealers.
Who can solve this? Mr. Montez.
Last Saturday in the Army Reserve, I linked up 40 tanks, 60 Humvees, and 7,000 troops. On Monday, class was no sweat.
Not bad, Mr. Montez.
As little as 1 weekend a month, 2 weeks a year. Army Reserve.
Financial goals require solutions. Dreams deserve dedication. Success demands performance. If there's something you want to achieve, the principal has one word of advice. Plan ahead, get ahead. The Principal Financial Group.
This is how hundreds of thousands of smokers have quit. It's the gradual step-down method, and you get it only from Nicoderm CQ. Store brand patches have only one step. You can't step down your dose. Nicoderm CQ has 3. You step down gradually, and gradual is the method doctors prefer. Quitting's important. Choose carefully. Nicoderm CQ. The power to calm, the power to comfort, the power to help you quit.
914. DC9 service for New York.
Detailers like EddieBauer.com choose Priority Mail. Shouldn't you?
With other credit cards, they call the shots. Your rewards, your interest rate. But not in this city. City credit cards say you've got choices. You're the one driving this bus.
I always wanted to do that.
Where can you find a card built around you? Citibank.
Watch Channel 2 Sports Extra Friday nights at 11:35.
Valvoline Halftime 99, brought to you by Valvoline. You can always tell the guys who use Valvoline. From our New York studios, John Saunders and Terry Bowden.
21-14, BYU with the lead over Cal in the second half, straight ahead. As I mentioned earlier, it was a great day for college football. Michigan and Michigan State coming in unbeaten for the first time since 1961 against each other. This is supposed to be where Michigan State lays down. They did not. Bill Burke with a great pass to Gary Scott, and then Burke again with Plaxico Burress, who was the man of the day, 27-10, and 34-31 was the final. For Bill Burke, 400 yards, that is his school record, and Plaxico Burress was the guy he went to the most often.
I tell you, they've been doing well all year offensively, but their defense, I think, is the factor this year. They've been worried about offensive rushing at Michigan all year long. They had no rushing game at all today. Michigan State, the #1 rushing team in the country, and they become a major contention in the Big Ten Conference.
Burress, 255 yards, that a school record. Miami and Florida State. Peter Warwick, you know about his troubles, unable to play, suspended, maybe for the entire season. We'll find out more on Monday. Kenny Kelly for Miami, though. Nice strike to Santana Moss, who dodges a couple of Seminoles and takes it in to tie the game at 14 apiece. But then later in the game, it was all Florida State. Travis Minor, a 2-yard touchdown run. And Peter Warwick says, I'm not on the field, but I'm there to pump up my team, 31-21. These are the types of games that, as a coach, you want to see how your team responds.
You really do. Everybody was talking about Peter Warwick, but I think the guys were excited. He wasn't playing so they could get the football. The ball got spread around to running backs, other wide receivers. You saw some new names, and Florida State is one team that has enough receivers to do without Peter Warwick.
And Chris Wenke with the numbers. Obviously, he knew how to find the other guys as well. Another Heisman Trophy contender, Drew Brees. He's not throwing the ball this time. He's catching it from Vinny Sutherland, stays in bounds, and ties the game at 7-7 against Ohio State. Jonathan Wells, though, 2-yard touchdown run, puts Ohio State up by 1. They go for the 2-point conversion, get it, and lead by 3. And then Travis Dorsch perhaps trying to send it to overtime. It's blocked by Brent Johnson, and Ohio State has been that type of year. Every game seems to be gut check right down the end for Drew Brees. First time as a starter, he has not thrown a touchdown pass since he's been at Purdue. He did catch one, though.
And he had him there at the edge to go into overtime, but when it got blocked, that probably blocked his chances for a Heisman Trophy.
And it's going to be a tough month. It doesn't get any easier for Drew Brees. Now lost 2 in a row. Wisconsin, Ron Dane did not have a great day. Only 80 yards, 20-17. They get the win in overtime. But again, Ron Dane, as he makes this run towards the record, and Ricky Williams has not put up the numbers week to week that are consistent.
Yeah, but the national rushing record, it's something that comes along only once so often. It'll be broken later in the year. He led them to a victory, scored a touchdown, got them into overtime. They won the game. He's still in the hunt.
What do you mean once every so often? I think somebody did it last year.
Yeah, but once way before that.
Exactly. North Carolina and Georgia Tech. Joe Hamilton, another Heisman hopeful, and he struggled today. Turned it over 4 times, but in overtime calls his own number and gets in there. And then North Carolina, one last chance to force it to a second overtime. They do not. And Joe Hamilton, as I mentioned, he turned it over 4 times, but he led the key drive. They've got the field goal that forced the overtime and then took it in himself.
I've never seen 2 better minutes to end a football game to get a guy back on top in the Heisman Trophy hunt as Joe Hamilton today.
Georgia Tech now 4-1. Major League Baseball, the American League Division Series. Cleveland against Boston. John Valentin with a 2-run double here as Boston stays alive and wins it 9-3. So Cleveland leads that series 2-1, but the Red Sox are still alive. In the National League Division Series, Atlanta and Houston. Ken Caminiti to center field. This will end the game. Atlanta comes back, wins it 7-5, and wins the series 3-1. Also Arizona and the Mets, who would play Atlanta. So this is Todd Pratt with a home run, replacing Mike Piazza, who's out with an injury. Straightaway center field with the home run. The Mets win the game 4-3 in 10 innings, and they win the series 3-1. So the NLCS, the Mets, and the Braves. Stick around. Back with more college football highlights in a moment. 11-yard touchdown run here. Cal is down 21-14 at the half.
Is your car living a tough life? Better use a tough oil. Valvoline DuraBlend, the one strengthened with synthetics to outperform all leading conventional motor oils. Valvoline DuraBlend, tough oil for a long, tough life.
Come on, girls.
Buddy, let's go.
Hello? Now we're almost there. Bye-bye. Nokia. Connecting people.
It's a place where cowboys still roam the range, where falcons soar and cougars prowl. It's a legendary place where the ram and the wolf are equals, and the spirit of the rebel is joined by the hearts of ancient warriors. It's a place where winning or losing is not as important as where you play the game. The Mountain West Conference.
This is Valvoline Halftime 99. John Saunders and Terry Bowden. As the weeks start to pile up as we head towards the BCS standings, a team that's not getting a lot of respect, Penn State. Well, today against Iowa, trying to make a statement here. Eric McCoo, 47 yards on this touchdown run.
They do a great job. You know, they were talking about having a dominating defense, though, before the season. They had a week off. All they worked on was defense. Had a great day.
Florida against LSU. Doug Johnson to Alex Willis, 27 yards. Robert Gillespie also had a great game. Florida wins it easily. Mississippi State against Auburn. Well, they just controlled the game to the last 2.5 minutes, and Mississippi State comes back and wins this one. Ole Miss against Tulane. And Joe Gunn, 8 yards on this touchdown run, 20-13 the final there. Kansas and Kansas State, Jonathan Beasley, 88 yards to Quincy Morgan here.
They had a good job. Now, again, they're not only good on offense, though. Offense has done well. They found their quarterbacks, Adam Helm, 1 week. This week, Jonathan Beasley, but defense also very good.
Baylor and Texas A&M. Randy McCowan, 9 of 17 for 187 yards.
I tell you, 2 games they had gone without an offensive touchdown. He comes back, 3 touchdown passes, over 400 yards of offense.
Oklahoma and Texas running game, right? Forget it. That was in the 70s. Now Major Applewhite, 48 yards to Kwame Cavill.
Kwame Cavill, I love him. I tell you, but Major Applewhite's the guy, though, last week, 6 turnovers. He was down 17 points today, had 2 touchdown passes and brought him back.
East Carolina, a lot of people thought they'd run the table, but not today. David Garrard is picked off by Leo Barnes, returns it 60 yards for the touchdown, and East Carolina loses for the first time. USC and Arizona today. Deshaun Hill of USC fumbles the snap. Kelvin Hunter returns it 24 yards for the touchdown. Arizona wins over USC 31-24. Arizona starting to look a little better. Remember, they started the season ranked 3rd in the nation, and Dick Tomey says perhaps we have our team going now.
Well, they're back to doing what they usually do. They like to go for their conference, you know.
Well, I don't think we should conclude that we're back on track with 1 game. I mean, this is a long season. We got a game next week that'll be tough to win. The team we're playing beat New Mexico State by 30 points, and you just have to play every week, every play in this conference and in college football in 1999. You just got to play every play, every game. You can't assume a damn thing.
You can imagine that coach's head is spinning the way the season started for them. All right, Notre Dame against Arizona State. You want to talk about terrible years. Jarius Jackson had seen that for the Irish until today. Hits Bobby Brown 42 yards in the touchdown. The Irish up 7-0. Jarius Jackson with a terrific day, 48 yards on this run.
I think they're slowly creeping back into a bowl contender, not a BCS baby contender, but they got 6 turnovers to help them out, 27 points off of turnovers today.
Jarius Jackson with the 4 touchdown passes. That ties a school record. UNLV against Wyoming. Matt Swanson throws the pick. UNLV, what a job that John Robinson has done. This is a team that did not win a game a year ago, picked off by Burkell. It seals the game against Wyoming, and John Robinson has his team at 3-3, 1-1 in the conference. Back with more in a moment. 21-14, BYU with the lead over Cal.
Great Harvest Bread has over 100 stores connected across the country.
There's no other way to grow your business besides talking to other people.
Like thousands of businesses today, Great Harvest store owners use the internet and Microsoft software to share knowledge and make better decisions.
So now we can compare stores versus stores. You know, my suppliers know that I constantly look at prices. So they're less apt to raise prices because they know that I know what I know.
This is my daddy. He's a Gemini man. He fixes cars. He can fix anything. People like my dad. He says it's because they trust him.
Gemini Automotive Care, only where you see this sign.
Valvoline Halftime 99, brought to you by Valvoline. You can always tell the guys who use Valvoline.
It's a place where cowboys still roam the range, where falcons soar and cougars prowl. It's a legendary place where the ram and the wolf are equals, and the spirit of the rebel is joined by the hearts of ancient warriors. It's a place where winning or losing is not as important as where you play the game. The Mountain West Conference.
Sunday, there's nothing more exciting than 2 David Kelly shows back-to-back. First, the press calls these private eyes a Sunday night treat. Snoops, then.
The guy who stabbed me might still be out there.
The episode you've been waiting for.
There's some psycho targeting us.
The one that will answer all your questions.
He's come into this office, and I can smell him.
The Emmy-winning Practice, right after Snoops, ABC Sunday starting at 9, 8 Central.
Next Saturday on ABC, it's another Pac-10 doubleheader beginning at 12:30. Cal against UCLA. Then at 4 o'clock, Arizona State takes on Washington. That's next week on ABC. Sean Castillo of Army is the winner of this week's Burger King Scholar Athlete. Once again this year, Burger King Corporation will donate $1 million to the general scholarship funds of colleges and universities. At the end of the year, a $100,000 grant will be named to his school of the winner of the Burger King Scholar Athlete of the Year. Sean averages 33 yards per catch as a tight end. He figures in Army's potent rushing attack, maintaining a 3.8 GPA in engineering management.
I'm applying for the Rhodes Scholarship this fall, and hopefully I can pull that one off and study at Oxford for a couple of years. But if not, the Army has a program where they send you to graduate school, and I would like to participate in that program.
Sean Castillo is this week's Burger King Scholar Athlete. Back with more after this message and a word from our ABC stations.
Today's Waterboy symbol is a football. Check your local retailer for more details on how you can be an honorary Waterboy at this year's BCS National Championship game right here on ABC Sports.
Now that's what I call high-quality H2O.
Now, the Waterboy is yours to own for the first time.
You can do it!
Plus, you can enter to win a trip to the Nokia Sugar Bowl in New Orleans to see the BCS National Championship game as an honorary Waterboy.
Oh! I think that's sexy.
Grab your copy of The Waterboy. Take it home on video and DVD and enter today.
Come on, Michael, come on. Time to drop the hammer now. Looking good, Michael, looking good.
Man, what a light!
That's good enough to be the pole. Michael, you're not going to believe this. Not today, Mikey.
Make way for Cyberdale. It is knock knock out of my way. Rabid pack of pit bulls doing the jackhammer waltz. NASCAR 2000 EA Sports. It's in the game.
Hey there. Time for a holiday. So switch off your computers and take a national holiday with National Car Rental. Spend some time with
They have the ball here to open the second half. It will go through the end zone. We'll bring it out to the 20-yard line. And now let's take a look at the Morgan Stanley Dean Whittier first half stats.
Well, you got a number of interesting things. Only 8 yards rushing, 226 passing, but they've been sacked and they've had the turnovers. The big turnovers is what we talked about earlier, and that's what's kept Cal in the game.
Here come the Cougars in the open in a shotgun. Federick and Staley are back. The give is to Staley. Shut off inside. Goes to the outside. Barely gets around the corner. Will pick up about 3. Now let's take a look at the Dell Game Solutions for BYU's offense.
Okay, well, one thing they didn't do on that last drive of the half was stay with Lucas Staley. Instead, they went for the pass, and they got the turnover, which is the other part of it. 2 turnovers, 2 interceptions is allowed Cal to stay in the game. Now, for Cal's offense, I guess we'll do that.
We'll save that.
Play.
No, we'll save that till they get the ball. And that will tie it all in together. You like those numbers. Second down and 7. The pass is complete. He goes to Brandon Doma. DeStefano makes the tackle.
The second catch tonight. I've seen a little bit of a weakness in if there is a weakness in Sekou Senyika, it's seeing if he can cover some of the quick guys on pass coverage. It's a real tough thing when they're 30 pounds lighter than you.
First down, 31-yard line. Play action fake. Try to hold those linebackers. Now he rolls, steps away, and throws downfield. Pass is complete. Good scramble, and he goes to Luke Staley. 18 yards on the play. Parker was the man putting the pressure on him for Cal. Federick, who had a slow second quarter, now has a hot hand at the beginning of the third.
Takes the fake and comes out. And one of the great things about Federick is he keeps his cool even as he's moving across the field. A lot of quarterbacks don't have that athleticism, but also the mental coolness to do that.
And also Staley reacting to the fact that Federick was in trouble. He rolled with him, stayed with him, found the opening so he could hit him. 49-yard line. First down. And here is Staley off the right side. Hurdles one man and then is decked. And he is decked by Sanyika. So it's going to go for a gain of a couple on the play. It'll be second down and 8. Staley now 7 carries. He has rushed for a total of 38 yards in the ballgame.
One of the reasons they don't play Staley as much as they'd like is he has a stress fracture, I believe, in his foot. And they don't want that to get worse.
Market second down and 9. They placed it closer to the 50-yard line. And we'll have a timeout called. BYU, a bit of confusion on offense in their opening drive of the second half, and rather than take a chance, they took the timeout. 13:05 left in the third. Leading in the ball game by 7. Here's pressure again. Pass is incomplete. They're saying the ball was not catchable. So that's the reason that there was not a flag. Atuau was decked by Parker. But the officials were right. That was not catchable. It was, 5 yards over his head.
And Federick was decked by 97 Andre Carter again.
Federick really takes a beating, doesn't he? Now we have an official's timeout. An injured player.
Carter just physically dominating the right tackle.
There's Parker. Parker's coming up limping. Third down and 10. Here's pressure again. He's hit as he releases, and he overthrows his intended receiver, who was Margin Hooks. Carter and Tapino sandwiching Kevin Federick.
All right, from the left side of your screen, they switched up this time, and 58 Muko Tabania does the same thing, running around, just not quick enough. You'll see 76 posted, just doesn't seem to have the agility to get back around that corner. All it is about an extra 3 feet.
Jesse Sowers kicks it away. O'Neal calls for the fair catch and takes it at about the 17-yard line. So California will be moving on offense for the first time in the second half, following a kick of only 32 yards. Now let's take a look at this week's Applebee's game fact. Cal head coach Tom Holmoe played at BYU, graduate 83, led the WAC in interceptions. He was all WAC, and he played under coach LaVell Edwards, who is still the head coach, and that's with mustache and all. That's what he looked like he came right out of the Old West. I think the Dalton Boy bank robbers looked a little like that too. Cal from the 17. We'll see what they can find on the ground as Joe Igber tries to scoot through.
We had dinner at the Sundance Resort. Looked a little bit like Jeremiah Johnson there.
That's right, he did. There may be another career waiting this young man. He's really nice.
He got a big haircut.
He relates to the kids so well, doesn't he? I think that impressed me most about it.
The thing he talked about with the 49ers is just having that vision for the whole team. Everybody on the same page, all the way down to the janitor.
Second down and 7. Flags and whistles are sounding. The Corey Smith move. Shame on you, Corey.
False start. Offense remains second down.
There he is, number 32, the tight end. Oh, yes. It's a little flinching going on. Ninth penalty against Cal, a total of 55 yards.
That was infectious. Reed Deal gave it to him.
Three steps, too hard. Incomplete. Eshima, the intended receiver.
Nobody could catch that.
No, you need to, yeah, a little off target too, but he's firing so hard. Easy to say up here, there's nobody beating on it while we say it. Bowler now 4 of 18 for only 41 yards. Not a stellar outing thus far. However, don't forget Cal is within 7 of BYU. BYU was up 21-0. Then the interception and the touchdown by Delta O'Neal, and then the drive with Igber scoring, and suddenly it's a brand new ball game. Good protection. Now he runs out of protection. Tipped incomplete. Eshima, the intended receiver, and Nolly was putting the pressure on Kyle Bowler.
Well, we hope that the Kyle Bowler from midway through the second quarter returns, because he was throwing with a different kind of touch.
Yep. So Nick Harris now will be the punter for California. Jaron Dabney is the return man for BYU. Nick Harris.
Now that is some hang time.
Fair catch, taken at the 35-yard line. 50 yards on the kick. BYU by 7. Back in a moment.
There's this place in the neighborhood where they have these outrageous you pick 2 platters, and basically you pick 2 out of 3 entrees. It's 2 on 1 plate. You get the Cajun steak with all those sizzling spices, or a pile of succulent roasted garlic shrimp, or barbecue chicken with that sauce that sticks to your lips and your mind like some really interesting dream. It was too good to end, but it will, just like the you pick 2 platters. 2 entrees, 1 plate, only at Applebee's.
Their stories are all different, but their passion, their dreams are all the same. That's why State Farm is a proud sponsor of women's sports, because little girls have big dreams too.
Wish you had a car that wasn't just another car? Wish it could be tight and precise and fun and roomy and quiet? Wish it didn't take all your money to get your wish?
Dodge Stratus SE. You make the wish. We make the car.
Now get 0.9 financing or $1,000 cash allowance on Dodge Stratus.
ABC Sports presentation of college football is brought to you by Dodge. Do not follow. Do not conform. Be different. By Applebee's. You belong at Applebee's. By Morgan Stanley, Dean Witter. We measure success one investor at a time. And Priority Mail from the U.S. Postal Service. 11:43, time remaining, third quarter. BYU has the ball. They have a 7-point lead. And they set up shop at their own 35-yard line. Everybody is covered. A quick scamper up the middle. Collides with his own player. Ball pops loose. Recovered by a BYU player downfield. And I believe it was Ben Horton who recovered it. Yes. As I mentioned earlier, he likes to come over the middle. He was coming over the middle and saw the ball wide open and pounced on it.
Maybe they figure if Federer's going to get hit, might as well get hit after running 5 yards with the ball.
Pretty good scrambler. Runs into Brandon Doman. Kind of interesting, you know, like he wanted to kind of push him out of the way. Here I am, Brandon. Don't step back. Oops, too late. Second down and a yard. And they'll lose a yard on this. Fahutahi. Andre Carter was the first man there. Marset was the second. Damian Marzette, the strong safety, moving in to complete the play.
Charlie, I wouldn't be surprised if BYU doesn't begin to keep a tight end in or something just because the hits are mounting on.
Oh, they have to give him more.
Not only that, but the chance of a turnover.
They have to give him more protection. You're absolutely right. Two wide receivers and a flanker on the near side. Again from the shotgun. Four-man rush by Cal. Pass is complete right at the spot of the first down. Let's see where they mark it. Ben Horton came down with it.
Oh, it's short.
Senyika made the hit, and it's going to be, you're right, about a half a yard shy of the first down. Fourth down, and so BYU will kick it away.
That was really well played by the Cal defense. I mean, they just did not allow Ben Horton to grab any more yardage than that. He cut his pattern off about 2 yards short.
Sowards to punt. Delta O'Neill, the return man. It was his interception and run for a touchdown that gave the momentum to Cal. Good kick. Takes it at the 9-yard line. Little stutter step. Takes too much time. Coverage is there. Only about 3 yards on the return. Nice cover by the Cougars. Isaac Kelly makes the tackle. 47 yards on the kick. And a 5-yard return. Coming up on Thursday, October the 14th. Watch a Mid-American Conference contest as Chad Pennington leads Marshall against Toledo. This Thursday at 4:30 Pacific on ESPN. So here come the California Golden Bears. Looking for a spark in the second half. And to see if it's on the ground, Joe Igber. Not a lot there. Chris Hoke makes the tackle for BYU. And they'll spot the ball just outside the 15-yard line.
Well, now that Cal has got us back into the game, they've already established that they can run the ball, and it gives them a lot more ability to surprise.
Kyle Bowler, the quarterback, with Joe Igber. Double tight end on this set with two wide receivers on the far side. Steps away, has backside pressure, comes back over the middle and bounces it. Incomplete. He was rushed on it. Ronnie Davenport, the intended receiver. Bowler never really had time to set himself. As the penetration by the Cougars, led by Brian Gray, who had the coverage downfield, and here comes that pressure we were talking about. And that scrambles up everything.
But he kept his cool for the most part. I mean, he turned right into the face of Byron Frisch, one of the stronger, more intimidating figures in the WAC.
Three wide receivers on this set. It's third down. This pass is complete on the near side to Davenport. And he's going to fall short of the first down. Brian Gray with the tackle, the defensive left cornerback. Needed to get to the 24, and he gets not quite to the 23. So Nick Harris will come aboard to kick it away. Jaron Dabney joins the group at the 35-yard line. Nick Harris.
You know, before Cal can do the big things, they have to do the little things well, and that was just a simple pattern. It would have been nice for him to have
terrible
deeper.
One of the first really bad kicks that we have seen in the ballgame. We have exactly 8 minutes left to go. We're in the third quarter here at Cougar Stadium in Provo. And this battle between the BYU Cougars and the California Golden Bears. I'm Charlie Jones along with Nick Lowry. BYU with the early lead. They went up 21-0 in the first half. And then in the last 5 minutes of the first half, the spark for California was the interception by Delta O'Neill that he then scored. They tacked on another touchdown and went into halftime with BYU leading only by 7, 21-14, and that is the score now as we're almost midway in the third. Frederick pump fake, and he is sacked. Andre Carter gets him. Carter has been lettering in the backfield of Brigham Young all night long. He has had an excellent game.
They're going to have to get some help over there on that right side, because that's Frederick's blind side. He's going to get hurt.
And that's the backside. He's a left-hand thrower. And that's where you have to have that protection. Second down and 17. Frederick goes to an audible out of the shotgun. Four-man rush, still has to scramble. Nice little touch, lays it over the defender. Pass is complete. Opahin Galway, who has scored a touchdown in the ball game, was there for 28 yards. Iwoma with the tackle for Cal. And putting the pressure to Bigno.
You know, another left-handed quarterback with great touch, Kenny Stabler. That reminded me of that. You know, just the way you float that ball, and the ball almost caressed your hands.
And the difference in what we've seen between the two quarterbacks. This is something that we have not seen Kyle Bowler do for Cal. But look at that. Just a nice, just lays it out over the defender. Now at the 32-yard line of Cal, first down. Frederick opens up, fires to Hooks. Pass is complete at about the 16-yard line. Wongwo, first name Daniel, true freshman for California, with the tackle.
They're just giving him plenty of cushion. They had a problem with this last week. Harold Pearson this week off about 12 yards. Last week, when Atari Collin was playing a lot for the first time, true freshman, he in the third quarter, he was a little bit afraid to play them tough, and he changed that late in the third quarter and played a lot better.
Jimenez also in on defense. For Hooks, 5 receptions for 79 yards. Frederick to throw again. He goes deep down the near side into the end zone, and it is dropped. It is dropped in the end zone. Jonathan Pittman had his second touchdown of the night, and he dropped it.
It was almost the reverse of the one to Margin Hooks, directly over his head. Perfect throw, but very difficult to catch.
Right there.
I mean, perfect.
And from a lower angle, he still drops it.
Yeah, he had time to see that. It wasn't quite as directly over his head as the one to Hooks.
Good pass. Third down and 4. He'll get a chance to make up for it. Frederick scrambles out the left. Now he buys all kinds of time. He can run for it, and he slides to the 25-yard line. You know, I'm wondering something. As he looked to the near side, you see the down marker with a 3 on it. And I'm just wondering out of the corner of his eye if he thought that was the first down marker, and that's where he made his slide, because he thought perhaps that he had the first down. Well, he didn't. He comes up about 4 yards shy.
We've got an interesting situation here. Owen Potchman for BYU made the game-winning field goal last week, but he missed the 2 ones before that. We'll see which level of confidence he responds with.
43-yard attempt on the field goal by Potchman. From 43 yards out, and yes, he has it.
That's a big kick.
Owen Potchman makes it from 43 yards away. That ties his longest of the year. Officially, they say 44. Well, then it's his best of the year.
If you want to get technical, when Potchman stays over his feet, doesn't fall across the ball, he comes through it better. The kicker for Cal missed 2 field goal attempts. One was where it was roughed, and now they've replaced him.
Oh, and he knows it. The kicker, you really know it as soon as you look up, right?
Just about. You don't even have to look up most of the time.
And the BYU Cougar Band helps the celebration. And BYU inches ahead now by 10, 24-14 with 5:13. The time remaining in the third.
Charlie, who's to say how this game would have changed if Cal had gone down and scored on that field goal on that first possession?
Watchman kicking off. This one is going to be returned by O'Neal. He's to the 10, the 15, and up the sideline. He is out of bounds. They're going to mark him out where? Around the 30-yard line. My goodness, I thought he had another 20 yards. They have a 31-yard return.
Okay, what you're going to see here is they set up a wonderful line just up here at about the 20-yard line, and all the blue jerseys are going to be pushed to your left. Great blocking.
I think O'Neal forgot where he was on the field. I think he ran out of room, didn't quite realize it. So mark the ball at the 31-yard line, first down. Firing on target. This one will stand up for about 3 yards to Ronnie Davenport. Next Saturday, most of you will see UCLA's all-time leading receiver Danny Farmer and the Bruins go head-to-head against Cal in the Pac-10. That's next Saturday at 12:30 Pacific on ABC Sports, plus other regional action.
You know, 3 quarterbacks who went to Cal were in the Super Bowl.
This last Super Bowl?
No.
Oh, no.
Over the span of history.
Oh. This is, yes, now we have the Aflac quiz.
I'm going to give it to you.
Is this the Lowry quiz?
It's the Lowry quiz.
The Lowry quiz.
Well,
Joe Igber, and he has a yard now for the Lowry report.
Well, you've got Vince Ferragamo. There's one.
Don't look at me like I know. I don't know where you're going with
I'm trying to think who's
You're on your own.
I had to go back on the third. But the other one is Joe Kapp, who
Minnesota, yes,
had the same high school as Kyle Bowler.
Okay.
And when I remember the third one, I'll give it to you.
This is the elongated Lowry report. Now, ball over the shotgun. He goes deep, and he overthrows everybody. Davenport, the intended receiver.
It just doesn't look comfortable.
No, he hasn't looked comfortable with the ball game. So Nick Harris will come in to kick it away. Dabney will set himself for the return between the 25 and 30-yard line. A gorgeous evening here in Provo. This is a great setting. Giving ground. Avoiding one. Cannot avoid his own man. Entangled with a Cal player, 49 yards. 4 yards on the return. Back in a moment.
Detailers like EddieBauer.com choose priority mail. Shouldn't you?
Hey, Jen, we're counting on you.
Last weekend in the Army Reserve, I had to refuel 6 Apache helicopters in 30 minutes. That got me ready to do battle on Monday.
Hey, not too shabby.
As little as 1 weekend a month, 2 weeks a year. Army Reserve.
The oxygen mask will be released, and in case of a sudden craving for the new Chicken Club from Burger King, an emergency pouch in the seat back in front of you contains 1 sandwich.
Hey, that's my sandwich.
Give me that sandwich, lady! Just give me the sandwich!
Everybody's craving the new Chicken Club. After all, it's a masterpiece of all-white meat chicken, crispy bacon, lettuce, and tomato.
Woohoo!
Have it your way.
This is the one you waited for.
Are you telling me that the guy who stabbed me might still be out there?
The one that will answer all your questions. An all-new practice, ABC Sunday, 10/9 Central.
3:26 time remaining in the third quarter. The Cougars are ready, and here they go on offense. From the shotgun. Four-man rush by Cal. Frederick steps in, scrambles, throws on the run. Again, makes the completion on the run, this time to Doug Jolly. The number 2 tight end, Keith Miller with the tackle. That has been one of the most effective patterns for Kevin Frederick. Picks up 20 yards on the play, and also he avoids the pressure.
You know, you don't think that those big old tight ends can get lost, but they get lost in the traffic, and that's what you see here. 87, Doug Jolly had 2 touchdowns in his first real full game for BYU. His father played in the NFL for the Lions and the Seahawks. I think his brother played as well. He's only about 225, but he's a great receiver.
First down, 5 wide receivers. This is where the pressure can get to you in a hurry, and it does. He throws very quickly, and the pass is complete. Goes to the far side. Sanyiko was there to deck the receiver.
And we know who that was, right? I believe that was Chris Hale, whose father is the athletic director, just took over in June at BYU. Chris had the game-winning touchdown, 38-yard touchdown reception, I believe, against Washington just a few weeks ago.
And that will be Hale's second reception on the year. The first one, of course, went for a touchdown, the way it's supposed to. 5 wide receivers. Staley is back, along with Frederick in the shotgun. This one is on target to the near side. And it is complete to Ben Horton. Rashawn Ward with the tackle for California.
That's a harder pass than it looks. I mean, you're throwing from the far hash. The ball's got to travel a lot of space, and there's time for the defensive back to catch up with it. But he threw it with enough velocity. People say this year, with his added weight and strength, he's throwing the ball with more velocity.
Frederick told us that last year he weighed 185, and his goal was to weigh 200 when they came in for the first weigh-in this year, and he was in the weight room, and he ate a lot and worked out, and he hit it right at 200, what he wanted to do. Here's the screen. Pass is complete. Sataki. Keith Miller with the tackle for Cal.
Fefita Sataki.
Miller.
1:42 and counting as we are coming to the end of the third quarter. BYU up by 10, and they're on the move. Second down. Flag is down on the play. Staley is also down after a gain of a couple. We'll go back to the call. Parker makes the tackle.
I think the I formation may have confused Cal. Don't see that too often here.
So we'll sort out the flag. And they're holding another conference. It was either offsides or a false start, one or the other.
It looked like it was Cal.
Officials timeout. All right, while they're talking it over, let's check in New York City. John Saunders.
Charlie, it's time for the Burger King play of the game. Drew Brees of Purdue, for the first time as a starter in his collegiate career, did not throw a touchdown pass, but he did catch one from Vinny Sutherland. Takes this one to the end zone. Purdue did not win the game, but Drew Brees is your Burger King play of the day. Charlie.
All right, thank you, John. That's a good one. That's a good selection. So it's offsides against Jeremiah Parker is the call. And the penalty far enough on the 5 yards to pick up the first down. First down, 36-yard line. 1:22 left in the third. BYU by 10. Little play action fake on the handoff and going into the end zone. Deep flag is down. 2 flags are down in the end zone. Hooks the intended receiver. Deltha O'Neal had the coverage.
When you're that accurate, good things happen when you throw into the end zone. You'll see they kept the tight end in here on the left side and gave him time, took some of that pressure off. And when he has time to set his feet, even though it was slightly underthrown.
Did Deltha trip going in? Is that what it was? He's watching him here, number 8, and he turns. Pressures the guy. They could call that offensive pass interference if they wanted to.
15 yards, automatic first down.
And remember, in college, pass interference is 15 yards or less. It's spot of the foul up to 15 yards. Cannot be longer than 15 yards. And that is pass interference against O'Neal. And really, I think could have gone either way. So the ball is now at the 21-yard line.
If O'Neal hadn't lost his balance, I think it wouldn't have looked as if he caused it.
I think you're absolutely right. Here's Staley. They bottle him up pretty good. Luke Staley shut down by Keith Miller. Cal still right in the middle of this ball game. They trail by 10. They've only given up 3 points on a field goal in the second half. 24-14. We're inside of a minute to finish out the third quarter. Cal's record coming into the ball game on the year is 2-2, 1-1 in the Pac-10. BYU's record is 3-1 and 1-0 in the Mountain West Conference. Second down. Frederick. Here comes the blitz. Has to get rid of it, and it's intercepted. Here is a touchdown. Damian Marzette. Whoa. And a dramatic score. Whoa. Damian Marzette, the senior strong safety.
You'll see Tafita, 91, coming over, setting up to block for this delayed screen. I don't know what Frederick was looking for, but boy, over time, when you get hit that many times, you start perhaps anticipating things before you actually see them.
Yards, is that it officially? 80 yards on the interception return.
That front seven has taken tremendous pressure off those.
There is no foul for unsportsmanlike contact as they forward roll. Result of the play is a touchdown.
Well, I'm glad they called that off.
You dive into the end zone all the.
I love the diving into the end zone. Here it is. Frederick again.
They might call that in the NFL.
And the extra point is good. So we have a 24-21 ball game. Mark Jensen splits the uprights. And the reaction of LaVell Edwards.
Somebody who controls his demeanor most of the time, but one of the things this front seven is doing, they're getting pressure from both sides, both from Muko, number 58, and also from Tully Banta-Kane. Nowhere for him to go.
And we have 18 seconds left in the third. Frederick, you could say, has thrown 5 touchdown passes. 3 to the guys in blue and 2 to the guys in white. Cal, by the way, on the year has scored 10 touchdowns. The defense has scored 4 of the 10.
Charlie, did you believe it when Norm Chow said this was the best front seven they'd face all year?
I do now.
I do now.
You bet.
And that's without Matt Beck, who is one of the spiritual leaders of this defense.
Mark Jensen will kick it away. The linebacker, Matt Beck, of course, is out for the year. And this one goes out of bounds.
I believe it's the 40-yard line in the NFL. It's the 35. You have the option to take it to the 35 in college. Interesting statistic, Charlie. If you can start on your own 20 as opposed to your own 40, you have half as good a chance of scoring. So when you get up at the 35, it really is it's a big difference for the offensive team.
And you might wonder as a viewer, why do they have that rule? Well, the reason they have the rule is that they want you to return the kickoffs because that's an exciting part of the game.
They actually didn't kick it out of the end zone.
We have some flags flying.
I didn't know kilts were in BYU.
We have 16 seconds left in the third.
Illegal substitution on the defense. 5 yards, first down.
Now we'll see what kind of confidence California plays when they have a chance to win this game. It's staring right at them. 15 minutes away.
Again from the shotgun. Scrambling out to his left and throwing incomplete. It was a little bit tall for Ben Horton. Frederick takes another beating. Andre Carter is putting the pressure on. And that defensive line continues to put the pressure on the quarterback. And if you're thinking that was a late hit on the quarterback, it really wasn't, because that was a late hit in slow motion. Under regular speed, that's not a late hit.
They put in the freshman Dustin Reichert over on right tackle, just trying to spell Ford Poston, but the problem is they're getting pressure from both sides.
Sataki back with him. He's back there as a blocker. Pass is incomplete. Jonathan Pittman, the intended receiver. And we still have 5 seconds left in the third.
One of the things we talked about earlier, too, is even though you'd think it'd stop the BYU passing game, you have to stop their running game or else they can pass all day. And really, the second half, they've done an excellent job. The whole game. They had 8 yards rushing in the first half for BYU and almost nothing this half.
Third down 5. Late pressure. Passes. Flag is down. Ben Horton is going after the ball. Flags came flying. DeStefano was there for Cal. And again, it was Andre Carter right in the face of Kevin Federer.
And in his stomach, too.
Oh, yeah. Pass interference called against California.
One of the things Ben Horton talks about when we met him a couple days ago, he said, I like my favorite. Hold on one
Pass
second.
Interference on the defense. Penalty is declined. First down.
The reason he declines the penalty is so Ben Horton gets credit for the catch. All right, that is the end of the third quarter. ABC Sports presentation of college football will return after this message and a word from our ABC station.
Most compact club cabs just aren't cut out for big loads. So you end up leaving a little cargo behind, having to lose a little weight, cutting your fun short. Dodge Dakota, however, is different. With more available payload, towing, and power. Dakota, anything less doesn't cut it. Dakota, now ranked best compact pickup in initial quality by J.D. Power & Associates.
You gotta stop right there. Good girl.
Today, I'm giving my daughter her first driving lesson. I'm Howard Simpson, auto insurance expert for Liberty Mutual. Teenagers are more likely to have an accident than anyone else. That's why I volunteer to teach kids road safety long before they get their license.
Let's go, let's go.
Whether it's teaching kids in high school or training professionals, we do whatever it takes to make roads safer.
At Liberty Mutual, we have hundreds of experts helping you live a safer, more secure life. It's insurance in action.
You're never too old to learn.
You have to take a really big crane and get it to move.
Use a tow truck.
Put a mouse in front of him.
You could blow a horn. I get a lot of men to help me, like 20 men. You could give them their favorite food so they can just have a little snack or candy while they're pulling it.
A new image.
Dana can tell when you're staring at her breasts.
A new confession.
You have a crush on Hillary Clinton.
And a new boss.
I honestly don't give a damn if any of you work here or not.
Fargo's William H. Macy guest stars in an all-new episode of Emmy-winning Sports Night. Tuesday, 9:30, 8:30 Central. 1/2 hour before Once and Again on ABC.
The Northwest is Ford country.
Our buddy Drew just got a new F-150 Super Cab 4x4.
You know what that means.
Off-roading.
Yeah, dirt biking.
It comes standard with 4 doors.
So we can bring the girls.
It's got the most towing capacity in its class.
The boat.
With all the money he saved with 3.9 financing.
The lake, baby.
Yeah! You want to go play in the sprinkler?
No. We need to go to the Ford store.
School Safety, a report card, Sunday at 6 on Town Hall.
This is the Y on Y Mountain. It is lit up, of course, because this is homecoming for BYU in this perfect setting for college football. First down, Frederick throws very quickly. A little looping, timing pass down the far side, intended for margin hooks. He overthrows it, and he gets decked again. Defensive coverage by Harold Pearson of Cal.
If this was the NFL, Frederick would have 2 concussions.
He takes a beating, doesn't he? There's Matt Beck, their outstanding linebacker, injured at Nebraska. I think that was September the 11th, I believe. Because otherwise he'd be injured next Monday, if I got the books right. Frederick, you're going to run for it. He throws deep. And it is almost caught.
It's interesting. I would have thought he would have led him to the wide side of the field since he had that side open, and he threw behind him. The defensive back fell.
Jonathan Pittman, the intended receiver. LaShawn Ward with the coverage. Has to turn, looks away. Can't find it. Now there it is. And oh no. Frederick, by the way, is only 1 for his last 7 passes, and that one is good for 11 yards. Third down and 10. Goes deep to the far side. It is incomplete.
And almost intercepted.
Ben Horton, the intended receiver. LaShawn Ward again with the coverage. So the Cougars are out of downs, and that means that Jesse Sowers will come in to kick it away.
Frederick is really feeling it. Might be a good idea to give him a little break.
And why is he feeling it? Here's why. Again.
It's a lot harder, you know, when you put all your weight into throwing that ball, you don't have a chance to brace yourself.
Delta O'Neal, the return man. Pauses, has a block. Flags are flying. And he is down. There are flags everywhere. 38 yards on the kick, a loss of 5 on the return. the call. Well, he pointed, it's a legal block in the back, and he pointed first to the kicking team and then to the receiving team. I'm assuming he means the receiving team. And of course, what Tom Holmoe, head coach of Cal, wanted, he wants any kind of return that comes quickly up the middle. Because don't lollygag around when you're that deep. Just get some yardage so we can start the drive a little further upfield.
Especially because there was not much hang time on that. And he had a good 10-15 yard cushion.
Better to start at the 15 than to start at the 3, which is what happened. Kyle Bowler, the true freshman quarterback, leads Cal now from their own 3-yard line. 14.5 minutes remaining in the ball game. Cal trails by 3 points. Joe Egbert tries the right side, gets a little bit of room out to the 4.
Charlie, one of the things that Tom Holmoe loves about Kyle Bowler is his presence of mind. In that fourth quarter against Arizona State a couple weeks ago, they were down 23-14, and he led them back. And so in the tough situations, he's fearless.
Egbert now, that is his 14th carry. He's rushed for 117 yards, and he has a touchdown. 2 wide receivers, 2 tight ends. Here is Egbert. Cannot squirm loose. Mark it for no gain. It'll be 3rd down. Isaac Kelly with the stop.
I wouldn't celebrate quite yet for BYU.
Cougars need to hold him for 1 more down, and they can come up with good field position. From the 4. Egbert the tailback. 2 tight ends. 2 wide receivers. Far side, and it is overthrown. Philip Pipersburg, the intended receiver. Isaac Kelly was there. Kelly was putting the pressure on the quarterback.
Brian Gray is an experienced defensive back, but he stopped running a little earlier than I would have expected him to, because that ball may have been overthrown, but it wasn't that off target.
Dabney now can give the Cougars outstanding field position with a good return. And Nick Harris will have to watch the back edge of the end zone. If he steps back, it's a safety and 2 points.
The rule is you need to give yourself a good 1.5 feet.
And have a good snap. Ooh, that was close to being a safety. Taken at the 45, out to the 50, and he returns near the 40-yard line. 13:04, that's left in the ball game. We'll be back in a moment.
Chevy Blazer. A little security in an insecure world. Blazer, like a rock.
At BASF, we don't make the sunscreen, we make it stronger. We don't make the tennis shoes, we make them grip better. We don't make the jacket, we make it brighter. We don't make the carpet, we make it tougher. At BASF, we don't make a lot of the products you buy. We make a lot of the products you buy better. BASF.
I wonder what would happen if my beer was ever lost or stolen. I mean, how would I be able to prove it's mine? So I'm thinking, mine's the one with the head that's exactly 2.3 fingers thick. It's the one with the color that stops sunlight dead in its tracks. And it's the one that never, ever tastes watered down. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I could pick my beer out of a police lineup if I had to. Ice brewed so there's never any watered down taste. Ice House. Enjoy.
Count
UCLA next Saturday. We're going to see UCLA's Danny Farmer. Hurry, we can't miss this game.
Here's a replay of the kicker, and watch as he steps back. Is he on the line?
If this was tennis and that was a chalk mark, that ball would have been in.
Very close to being a safety. Luke Staley now having a bit of a problem.
Luke Staley, the ball carrier.
Andre Carter. Now take a look at it. Notice the official, though, in the upper left-hand corner. He never looks down the line. That, I believe, is his call.
To Nick Harris' credit, he never puts his heel down. But it was close.
It was close. We're not saying it was right or wrong. We're just saying it was close.
Take a stand.
No. I like to vacillate. Notre Dame big over Arizona State. UNLV. Con Robinson does it again. He beats Wyoming. Washington State shutting out Louisiana Lafayette. Washington, Oregon State. That's still time to play. Utah winning their outing. Pass is complete. And spinning away and headed for the end zone is Jonathan Pittman. 44 yards, touchdown BYU.
Well, that's a breath of fresh air for Kevin Federick. I was worried when he left the last series whether he's going to be able to come back. When you keep throwing, good things happen.
Pittman's second touchdown of the ball game, his fourth on the year. He has 3 receptions for 96 yards. He spins and he goes.
Both Dre Harris and Damian Marzette just didn't seem to keep their feet.
Pottsman to attempt the point after, giving the Cougars some breathing room. It is up and it is good. So BYU now in control. Back in a moment.
Tonight, we had the perfect meal for us. The Olive Garden's never-ending pasta bowl. You pick any of the special pastas, and you get all the free refills you want, plus all the salad and breadsticks for $6.95. Good thing I was born hungry. The Olive Garden. When you're here, you're family.
So what's on for today?
Boss wants you, me, and Charlie to take the new Silverado and move them bales.
Is that Charlie?
Chevy Silverado has the most powerful V8 of any 4x4 pickup.
Then we gotta water the herd.
300 horses make it more powerful.
If there's any daylight left, we'll take Norm up to see the ladies.
More powerful than Ford and Dodge. That's why it's the truck. Silverado from Chevy.
Well, guess that's enough for today.
Flight 910. DC-9 service.
E-tailers like EddieBauer.com choose priority mail. Shouldn't you?
Why do I have Aflac insurance on top of my regular health insurance? Because he has his mother's eyes. Because I still have to teach him to whistle. And because Aflac helps cover what other insurance doesn't. If I'm injured, Aflac even provides cash to help pay bills. So why do I have Aflac? Did I mention he has his mother's eyes? Aflac supplemental insurance. Without it, no insurance is complete.
Central Bank, it's your bank.
ABC Sports presentation of college football is brought to you by Chevrolet Trucks, the most dependable, longest-lasting trucks on the road. By the Olive Garden. When you're here, your family. By FedEx. FedEx, be absolutely sure. And by the United States Army Reserve. Be all that you can be. And right now, the BYU Cougars are being all that they can be as they again lead by 10, 31-21. And this one is sailed, my goodness, about 8 yards past the end of the end zone. No question of any return. And so Cal will start out on their own 20-yard line.
You know, one thing we didn't talk about earlier was that Kevin Federick almost went to Cal. He received an offer from the Cal coaching staff, but that was after Keith Gilbertson had left. And when Steve Mariucci had taken over, he hadn't seen film of Kevin Federick, and Kevin didn't feel like he was sincerely interested in giving him. He was just giving him the offer based on the honor of already been offered that from the previous coach. So had things been different, Kevin might have been playing for the other team.
Here's a little swing, Egbert to the right side. Joe Egbert gets back to the line of scrimmage, and that's about it. Brought down by Byron Frisch. Next Saturday, you will see in the back 10 the Sun Devils' powerful and speedy rusher J.R. Redmond as he leads Arizona State against the Washington Huskies. That's next Saturday at 4 Pacific on ABC Sports. Cal still has plenty of time, but they have not shown any kind of an explosive offense in this ballgame. And again, Ryan Denny this time. Kyle Bowler continues to struggle.
And Hans Olsen, who's related to nephew of Marlon and Phil Olsen, one of the real characters on that defensive line. He came through, just busted through. His best play is when he stays low. He's got a lot of mass, a lot of strength, and keeps his body strength and leverage low.
You mean Merlin Olsen, of course.
Merlin and Phil.
And Oren.
And Oren.
And Oren, yes. That, by the way, fourth sack. I'm just throwing that in.
Thank you.
I used to work with Merlin. One of the all-time neat people of the world.
I thought you worked with Moses.
I did. I did his first.
And that's when he was clean shaven.
That's right. So and now, ladies, no, don't get me into that. we will find here we go.
Delay game on the offense. 5 yards. Remains third down.
All right, now your Californians, 3rd and 21. You need to buy a little yardage, get a good kick. Try an old BYU, put force in their punt, and come up with good field position. You cannot win the ball game with your offense from here. You're in it because of your defense and your defensive touchdowns. You've got to have a short field to work with and not a long field. 14 penalties against Cal, 88 yards. Deep down the far side and way over everybody.
I got to disagree with you on that one, because when you're down by 10 points, you know, you got to be careful, but you got to go for it. In fact, in that Arizona State game, I think there was a 3rd and 30-yard situation where Kyle Bowler hit Ainsworth for a 31-yard completion. So, yes, he's got to be careful. Yes, he's made some mistakes. But if you play not to lose, then that mentality is infectious.
Okay. Here's the kick. And a good one. On the return to the 46-yard line. David Watts bringing down Dabney at that point.
I mean, Charlie, I think he was careful about that. And the good thing is he's learning not to force the ball.
54 yards on the kick. A 4-yard return. And now for BYU, they can put it away with this drive. 9:59 is the time remaining in the game. And don't forget, near the conclusion of today's game, we'll select a Chevrolet player of the game from each team. Chevrolet will make a $1,000 contribution to each university's general scholarship fund. And beginning this year, Chevrolet will also donate 2 $1,000 high school scholarships. So we'll have that for you a little bit later. Federick, 22 of 38. He has thrown for 381 yards, 4 touchdowns. He has been intercepted 3 times. This was Luke Staley. First man there was Keith Miller. Fujita. Scott Fujita was the second man there. BYU up by 10.
Staley looking less than Superman tonight.
Looked stronger in the first quarter. Seems as if maybe the layoff in his conditioning is down just a little bit. 2 wide receivers on the near side. I formation behind Frederick. Now they switch the motion man. Into the right flat. This is Staley. Cannot avoid the defenders. Nice defensive play by Sayika and DeStefano. So at the 46-yard line in Cal territory, 3rd down and what, a couple to go for the 1st down. You look back at the 4th quarter of a ball game, which is still in doubt to a certain extent, and you find 1 or 2 plays. But if you look forward, you say, well, this might be it for Cal if they can hold them here and make it 4th down and force them to kick. But if they give up the 1st down, then BYU could well go on to score. So this could be one of those crucial plays of the ball game. Slot on the left side. Frederick decides it's too crucial to make a mistake, and so he calls a timeout. So we'll step aside now with 9:06 left to go in the ball game. BYU by 10.
Chevy trucks are the most dependable, longest-lasting trucks on the road. And now, during Chevy Truck Month, you can get the authentic Chevy Tahoe with more standard horsepower and torque than Ford Expedition. Standard 4-wheel anti-lock brakes and $1,000 cash back. During Chevy Truck Month, you'll find the biggest selection of the year on the most dependable, longest-lasting trucks on the road. Chevy trucks.
Your webpage should be chaos, man. Static. I'm talking anarchy, old school dancing, the pogo, the windmill. I'm talking about breaking stuff. I'm talking 3-legged dogs. I'm talking about, man. I'm talking about crazy mosh pits, pigs.
Who designs your website is up to you. Hooking it up and delivering the goods, leave that up to us.
And of course, you ship everything FedEx.
FedEx, be absolutely sure.
Hey, Jen, we're counting on you.
Last weekend in the Army Reserve, I had to refuel 6 Apache helicopters in 30 minutes. That got me ready to do battle on Monday.
Hey, not too shabby.
As little as 1 weekend a month, 2 weeks a year. Army Reserve.
Need brakes? Now during the Midas $40 lifetime brakes rebate, save $20 per axle or $40 for your whole car. Lifetime guaranteed $40 in savings right now. Go safely. Go Midas.
Tonight at 8, 7 Central. Steven Seagal, Kurt Russell, and Halle Berry team up on the ABC Big Picture Show. Executive decision. ABC tonight at 8, 7 Central.
The Provo wave is underway. Third down and 2. Frederick in trouble. Scrambles to the corner, cannot get there. He is brought down for a loss by Seiko Sanyika.
I didn't think I'd say this, but really there almost seems to be superior team speed, at least in that front 7 with Cal. I mean, Seiko Sanyika just outran Frederick, was relentless. You know he had pressure from behind.
And here's that defensive speed.
Look at Seiko, and it's 6'4", 250.
And Wangwu was closing in on him also. He's at 265. Here's the kick. And they'll let it bounce through the end zone and bring it out to the 20-yard line. 51 yards on the kick. Tomorrow, world silver medalist and U.S. champion Michelle Kwan. What a delightful lady she is. She faces world champion Russia's Maria Butyrskaya in the Kerry Lotion Figure Skating Classic. That's United States against Russia, and that's tomorrow at 4 Eastern, 3 Pacific, and that's on ABC Sports.
Well, you don't get the same kind of feeling with Cal as with BYU that they can just score in 30 seconds.
Well, Cal has scored 3 touchdowns in the ballgame, and 2 of them by their defense. Little play action, rolls right, throws back, has his man, hits him. Nice pass, nice play. 50, 40 down the sidelines and out of bounds, and it's Marcus Fields. 42 yards on the play, and that is the second longest gain of the ball game for the Golden Bears, and it's been a long time. It's been more than 3 hours. The first play, running play, 55 yards. Next longest here. Here's another look. And look at that pass, right on target. Perfect timing. Is that their first down of the second half? Whoa, it has been a long time.
That was almost exactly like the design rollouts of a John Elway, too. Roller out to the side, have a chance to set his feet and throw right across the field.
And Bowler has the arm to do it. Egbert. Flag is down. Josh Lowe was there for BYU.
I'm not sure if that was gratuitous. I mean, you're going to hit. It's hard not to turn that inclination off. It's a big break for Cal.
Personal foul on the defense. 15 yards, automatic first down.
First BYU penalty since their first drive. Woo. And this is a big one. It's not the penalties, it's when they come and where you are on the field of play when they happen. And this one is huge for Cal. They trail by 10. 21-31. And we have 8 minutes and change. We believe it was a call on roughing the quarterback. Let's see. Knocked down. And that's a guess.
I'm pretty sure that's what it was.
Egbert continues to dart to the 20-yard line, inside the 20 perhaps. Exciting young player.
Joe Egbert may only be 5'8", 190, but he plays with a big heart.
Josh Lowe with the tackle.
Almost always breaks at least one tackle.
Second down and 6. Sam Clemens, the number 2 quarterback, is in as a wide receiver. Nice touch. This one is intercepted. Hushie Robertson. He recovered a fumble. He makes the interception.
Looked like there may have been a mix-up there. Well, LaShawn Ward doesn't play offense too often. Coming down on this side of the screen, you'll see, but he hesitates as if he was supposed to keep on going.
LaShawn Ward, the
always
starting,
thrown outside.
He's the starting quarterback.
That's one of the things that happens with LaShawn, who's normally a defensive player. He's only given a chance a couple reps during the week to practice that. It looked like there was a total mix-up as to what he was supposed to do at the 15-yard mark.
So BYU takes over with just over 7 minutes left in the ball game. They lead by 10. Bautahi, the ball carrier for BYU. So LaShawn Ward, also Delta O'Neill, has seen some offense. Both, of course, are in the defensive secondary, and we asked Tom Holmoe, now what about next year? Are you going to move them over to offense? He said you cannot build an offense off of your defensive starters. We need them there too. But right now they're a little thin. They've had a lot of injuries as far as their wide receivers are concerned. So Marcus Fields has moved out there. Sam Clemens, the backup quarterback, has also been out there, as we mentioned, along with O'Neill and Ward. BYU rushing, is that right? For a total of 25 yards in 14 carries.
25 rushes for 14 yards.
The other way, 25 carries for 14 yards. Whoa. Bautahi just keeps on going. Not to be denied, 27 yards.
You know, I love it when we say something, Charlie, and then we're completely proven wrong the next play. I said it looked like Cal couldn't do anything in 30 seconds. They have a 42-yard play the next time. They just doubled their total. Tahi was the Utah Player of the Year, had 116 yards rushing last week, and really was critical to keeping BYU in the game late in that game and in overtime.
And that's what, when the coaches say individual effort, that's exactly what they mean. First down, 35-yard line. Tahi again.
Tahi is 6 feet, 230 pounds. And while the people say that Staley up to this point has shown perhaps a little bit more familiarity and maturity, look at this guy play. I mean, he has surprising speed for someone that big, and usually breaks 2 tackles.
6 carries, 40 yards, a 6.7-yard average. Staley comes in, Tahi goes out. Keith Miller with that last stop for California. Tahi, first 3 quarters, no yardage. This drive, 40 yards. You might say he's well rested if he wants to. Luke Staley gets the call. BYU working on the clock. They lead by 10. 5.5 minutes remaining. And they keep rotating players in and out of their offensive set. It was great talking with LaVell the other day. I asked him, I said, do you still enjoy it? Is it still as much fun as it's always been? He said, oh, yes. Some days, yes. Some days, no. I said, it's that way in everything. Tahi back into the lineup, and he carries again.
People have asked why this year's offense, especially the passing side, has exploded. And he said, well, the receivers have matured. The shotgun, of course, has created some opportunities. But they're until today, they were still running very effectively.
We have a timeout call on the field. Stops the clock with 4:49 left in this ball game between BYU and California. Back in a moment.
At Burger King, we're
Shut up.
What's the right side of your screen? Number 2, Damian Marzette makes contact with the runner and then hits his own teammate helmet on helmet, and he was stunned for a moment. Another look right there was his second one when he ran into Stefano. The good news is he's sitting up.
It's hard to get 2 hits like that right after the other.
Damian Marzette.
Here's the final. Tennessee beats Georgia, and that is the first loss of the season for Georgia, and Tennessee has suffered 1 loss. Oh, good ball game. 37-20. Nice upset for Tennessee, and a long night for Georgia.
Yeah, I'm not sure it's an upset in Tennessee. Now, if they played that well in Georgia, that would be a real achievement. It seems like the home field advantage is a little bit more substantial in college, Charlie.
Oh, I think you're right. Oh, yeah. Particularly when you have 2, evenly matched teams. 2 really good ball clubs. 3rd down and 4. Goes to the far side, and it is caught. It is complete to Margin Hooks. 18 yards on the play. Meanwhile, Frederick is down. They wave the trainers back. He's up and he's okay. He's one tough kid.
And it's almost invariable, even on the passes that he completes, that he's being hit.
24 of 40, 403 yards, 4 touchdowns, 3 interceptions.
And if we add the yardage on the interceptions, he's about 600.
Number 18 is the backup, Brent Ingeman. See if there's anything there for Luke Staley. Not a lot. Wang Wu with the tackle. And we're moving on the 4-minute mark of time remaining in the ball game. BYU leading by 10.
Brett Engelman is yet another Utah Player of the Year. His older sister is married to Larry King. Larry King, the radio and television legend.
Talk show host. Second and 11. He hands off to Staley. Clock continues to move.
It'll be an interesting situation, Charlie, if they get about 3 or 4 more yards and they're faced with 4th and 2 or 3, whether they're going to try a field goal or not.
Timeout, Cal.
Cal takes a timeout. They now have 2 timeouts remaining.
Chevy trucks are the most dependable, longest-lasting trucks on the road. And now, during Chevy Truck Month, you can get the agile and durable Chevy Tracker with available shift-on-the-fly 4-wheel drive, swing-out tailgate, and $1,000 cash back. During Chevy Truck Month, you'll find the biggest selection of the year on the most dependable, longest-lasting trucks on the road. Chevy trucks.
Afraid your next get-together will be a flop? Order Chili's Party Platters. Act now. Call a Chili's representative, and your guests will flip over party-sized servings of buffalo wings, fajitas, baby back ribs, and more. End pre-party stress now. Order Chili's Party Platters new from Chili's.
This is a rental car. It's just a car, not even your car. So what's the big difference when you're choosing? Price. You search, get the rates, and what you're really looking for is a great car at a low rate. That's thrifty. Just the things you'd expect from a worldwide car rental company. Things like great cars, great service, airline miles, Blue Chip Express program, the works, and at a low rate. So the next time you need a rental car, call Thrifty. Just what you want, just Thrifty.
Ponder this. What makes Chili's awesome blossom so awesome? It is chopped, battered, and the rest is top secret because only Chili's has mastered the art of the onion.
Welcome back to Cougar Stadium in Provo on this gorgeous evening. Time now for today's Chevrolet players of the game. They are Delta O'Neill and Jonathan Pittman. Pittman scored 2 touchdowns for BYU. Delta O'Neill for Cal scored 1 touchdown off of an interception and then had a second interception. In recognition of their efforts, Chevrolet will make a $1,000 contribution to each university's general scholarship fund. And beginning this year, Chevrolet will also donate $1,000 to 2 high schools. So congratulations to both of them.
They deserve it.
Oh, yeah. Right flat, pass is complete. And here is Margin Hooks. You know why he was sliding? Yeah, he wanted to stay in bounds. He wanted that smart move. He wanted that clock to keep going. Delta O'Neill is the man.
And this is where Margin Hooks lives up to his name. That is a hook pattern, ladies and gentlemen.
Oops, don't take me to the sideline. Smart play. The clock continues on its inexorable march. 3:08 and counting. Tahi breaks 2 more. He has really looked good here in the 4th quarter.
You don't expect BYU to show that 2 tight end set too often, but they really do quite well out of it, especially when they got somebody as tough as Fahu Tahi.
Tahi on the drive, 5 carries for 53 yards. And we're under 2.5 minutes of time remaining in the game. And we have 15 seconds on the play clock. Staley is the tailback in the I formation. And he has the ball. To about the 7-yard line, maybe the 6-yard line. Keith Miller, Andre Carter leading the Golden Bears defense.
Gain of about 1 on the play.
Both Andre Carter and Keith Miller just had tremendous gains for Cal. They've got to feel great to have played with this intensity throughout the game after last week's performance without the help of a dynamic offense. Keith Miller, a really rugged linebacker. I can only think how well he'd play if he had Matt Beck alongside him.
And Tom Holmoe told us, he said, you don't want to give away this year. You want to win for the kids. But with our youth, and as we recruit the next couple of years, give us a couple more years, and we will be contenders. There's Staley into the end zone. And that will shut the door. From 7 yards out, Luke Staley, that is his 8th touchdown of the year. And when they totaled up the stats after this weekend, he could well lead the nation in that category.
Well, Luke didn't have to do too much on this. He's quick coming through the hole, but that was a big hole by the offensive line. Number 66, Jimmy Richards.
Scoring with 1:21 left to go in the ballgame. The extra point is straight away, and it's 38-21 BYU as the cannon goes off. An opportunity to thank the executive producer of ABC Sports, Howard Katz. The executive producer of ABC's College Football is John Flip Filippelli. The coordinating producer of ABC's College Football is Bob Goodrich. Today's game was produced by Jim Ressler, directed by Jim Jeanette. The TD, technical director, Tom Martin. Associate director, Phil Byrne. Our production manager, Deanna Hurd. Technical operations manager, Mark Towie. Is it Towie or Towie? Towie. Wanted to get it right, Mark. You did a great job. Assistants to the producer, Ross Malloy and Steve Lee. Our stat man, Dave Clancy, who will be racing for the plane. He works again tomorrow. Spotter Joe Sullivan and Mel Olson. Computer statistician, Tim Goodman. College Football Today was produced in New York by Charles Copland. College Football Today was directed by Calvin Haywood. Technical director of the TD there, Kevin Behrman. The New York coordinator was Vince DiDario. And thank you to all gentlemen and ladies. We have enjoyed the evening. And California has one more opportunity to see if they can get any kind of fireworks going on offense. And if they can start it with a kickoff return, but most of them have been sailing through the end zone. And this one from 9 yards deep, why not? Let's run it out. Delta O'Neill takes the shot at it and brings it out. And Cal now with 1:16 left. And there's the young man. Oh, I tell you how he's going to celebrate. He's going to lie down and say, I hurt. My body hurts.
He's going to take a nice bath.
Oh, a jacuzzi would be so good. He has been really beat up. He is one tough hombre, I tell you.
I'd say out of the 41 attempts, he's been hit about 30 times.
Oh, yeah. Oh, man. And he's very quiet off the field. A fiery leader on the field.
Kind of shy.
Oh, shy and very... He has the spark. First down. The fake goes deep, and he is overthrowing the tight end, Brian Surgener.
Who is wide open.
Yes, he was.
Uncovered, really.
Yes. And Kyle Bowler is disgusted at himself because he had a man there for a big play. Yeah. Yeah. And there are the kills and the paint job. Bowler has completed 7 of 29 for 95 yards. He's had an interception.
I've got some kilt jokes, but I can't tell them here.
Here's the draw. Muhammad. Clock continues to move. 1 minute left in the contest. Josh Lowe was there. Okay. All right, we have 45 and counting. Go ahead.
I wish happy birthday again to Samantha Holtree, who was born today. And I have to get this into my niece, Jenna Meza.
All right, and also to Sam Clemens of Cal. Tomorrow is his 21st birthday. The pass is complete after around the 28-yard line. The clock is stopped now with 23 seconds time remaining. With the first down.
Well, Charlie, what I see Cal needing, besides having a healthy Matt Beck, which isn't going to happen this year, is for next year they're going to have to get some agile offensive tackles and tight ends that are a little bit more physical to establish a little bit more dominating running game.
And I don't think there's any question that BYU will be a strong contender in the Mountain West Conference. But my goodness, they're going to have to get better protection of the quarterback, or he may not make it through the whole season.
They're going to have to design a scheme where not only are there initial blocks, but they actually have some people that come back to protect Federick in the backfield.
Or have him roll out.
Like a shotgun blocking scheme.
Yeah. There's Rob Morris. They miss him, of course. Hopefully, Rob will be back for BYU next week. It's a lower abdominal strain and a groin pull, and he got 3 different pulls on one play, and it's just been the very devil to get back. It just takes time, and you want to get back out there and play, but not too soon, or you'll just hurt yourself again.
And if he sees the tape of this game, my good friend Rob Morris, don't come back before you're ready. I've seen too many players, the great Jerry Smith, tight end with the Redskins, who came back 3 or 4 times his last season in the NFL, never played again.
And also, if you were with us at the beginning of the telecast, we had him on videotape, and he said somebody is going to pay for this injury when he
We don't want to be those people.
We're your friend, Rob.
We like you.
38-21 BYU. Down the field and incomplete. Now with 17 seconds left.
Let me give some
Sean Ward, the intended receiver, the speedster.
I want to give some credit to people we haven't even mentioned tonight. They had a real change at safety for BYU. Jared Lee, number 9, and Tyson Smith, number 23, came in, did a solid job. It helped to have the kind of pressure that Satima Nali and Brian Frisch and Holson, Hans Olsen and Chris Hoke brought, but the safeties did a great job. There's Jared Lee.
Kyle Bowler with one more opportunity. Throws underneath the coverage. Pass is complete to Sam Clemens. Sam Clemens, the birthday boy tomorrow. And the number 2 quarterback picks up 17 yards on the play. That stops the clock with the first down. Now with 9 seconds left to go. Cal goes ahead and takes their timeout. That should be, I believe, their 3rd timeout.
BYU will take it to the road for 2 Mountain West Conference games on October
Kevin Federick, 25 of 41. He throws for 414 yards for 4 touchdowns, and he also serves up 3 interceptions.
30th against the Air Force.
At this point, Kyle Bowler with one more throw to come, completing 9 of 32 for 118 yards and 1 interception, and had a horrendously slow start in the first quarter. But now he's throwing the way that he should have been throwing right from the get-go. So it just takes time for the youngster. Remember, it was, what, last year, 8 months ago, he was playing high school ball. There's a huge change. He said it is so much quicker here than it is in high school. And when you talk to rookies in the National Football League, they say it is so much quicker here than it is college ball. So it continues to be a learning experience.
I think he's also growing into his body. When you've grown 8 inches in 2 years, it's really hard to have everything, you know, to have the foot speed and everything come together. So I look for him to have a significantly better year next year as he gets healthier.
And aloha from all of the BYU players in from Hawaii. And they're tuning us in Hawaii tonight. Igberg has rushed for 119 yards in the ballgame. Now from the shotgun. Going deep down the field, and it is caught for a touchdown. LaShawn Ward with a touchdown. With 2 seconds left on the scoreboard. 55 yards from Kyle Bowler to LaShawn Ward.
That was actually about 67 yards in the air.
We said Bowler had an arm, and here he shows it all.
Throws it from the 35, and it's caught right at the goal line. Not bad.
Whoa. And right on target. And you can bet that the offensive coordinators are going to say, we need him on offense. I know he's a good defensive player, but we need him on offense.
He runs a 10-4-800. Hard to ignore that.
Ooh, yeah.
You know, we only saw that John Elway pass attempted maybe twice tonight. And I really think that they're going to have to use that more. He's got too good an arm not to take advantage of it.
The extra point is up, and it is good. And with 2 seconds remaining in the ball game, a mini celebration for all the Cal fans that are here or that are watching in across the country off of the satellites. And BYU's margin cut to 10. But they still safely have the W in their saddlebag.
The other thing about that play, that rollout play that Elway used to do is there is a better chance that you can at least see somebody coming before you get hit.
Yes. And you can kind of protect yourself.
You can bring some extra people over there.
There's LaShawn Ward. He is a redshirt freshman. Had a 43-yard catch in a previous ball game. And this one, of course, is his career long. We'll take another look at that touchdown.
Raw speed. Great catch, though. He might have had a touchdown on that earlier play, too, when it looked as if the ball was thrown anticipating him cutting to his left.
So Cal will kick off.
I hope they kick an onside.
And they may just do it. It has to go 10 yards before touched or recovered by the kicking team. Holtree was there for the Cougars. The clock should start when the ball is first touched in the field of play. The scoreboard still shows 2 seconds as the time remaining. ABC Sports is online at ESPN.com, part of the Go Network. I like that. Go Network. We'll just take a kneel down here. That makes it official. So BYU dominating from the beginning. And then Cal took a run at the end of the first half. Struggled some in the second. Tried to make a comeback. Couldn't do it. BYU held them off. The final score is BYU 38 and California 28. And you can see the difference in the two ball clubs, the difference in the ages, the difference in the experiences. We'll be back to wrap it all up in just a minute. Don't go away. Again, the final, BYU defeats Cal by 10, 38-28.
ABC Sunday.
Are you telling me that the guy who stabbed me might still be out there?
This is